And
I
man,
was.
that's
So what?
crazy. I done watched your interviews so much. I feel like I know y'all personally.
Man, and this life is so crazy, man. When I first started it in like third, fourth interview in, man, the first time I went to a McDonald's and a mother was like, "Yo, six," and I turn around and it's this big. So my first thing is like, I know that from the chain gang or something. Probably know me. And he was like, "Yeah, man, I was just watching your podcast," and I said, "Get the out of here, bro. I've been waiting for this moment."
Hey, I got this MSR X6 and I'm trying to go do this, that, and the third. And then, now I got to step back from it. Because, you incriminating yourself and me. If I help you, I'm going to jail. But had he said, hypothetically, if a scammer had an MSR X6 and he wanted to do X, Y, and Z, I could answer the question. Like, I just had somebody today, I broke that down to them, and they told me, no, it's not a hypothetical question. I want to know for me. And it's just like, I'm
All
scared
right,
of you.
so I'd have been like, "So listen, detective. What's up, family? I'm Six, and this is the Crime Chronicles. I got a banger for you today. My bro from Detroit, man. If you talking get money, you talking big moves. This is the man. Bang gang, bro. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? You ain't lying. If you
Detroit,
want to talk some big money, you know who you talking to.
one of Detroit's finest, man. So, yeah. So you from Detroit, like born and raised?
Yeah, born and raised in Detroit, 6 Mile, Mark Twain to be specific. But yeah, I
Okay.
mean, you want to go over the story, like from start to finish type shit.
From start to finish, man. The people want to know.
All right, not. I might get a little bit of the time. Some of the times might be wrong. Like something might happen 1 year before, 1 year off. It's hard when you like really lived it to be like, dang, when did that happen? But I'm gonna just go through it. Let's start.
I know your connection kind of bad.
Oh, okay, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. It just sounds like it's breaking up. Like you got the value pack Wi-Fi plan.
No, we ain't got that. We
You ain't got
definitely
the
got
top.
Xfinity. We got that top level
you
Xfinity for sure.
you know Xfinity got packages now.
Yeah, they do. And a lot of people be getting the phones off the Xfinity.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even know
See,
they had phones.
yeah, see, you got to know the new scams that's going on, man.
Man,
People get the
see.
Wi-Fi set up in the house, then get the phone sent through Xfinity, or just buy an Xfinity account and then go in the store and add lines to it. It's
Yeah,
always
I
something new going on.
well, that's that. I don't even call them scams, bro. That's just like hitting a lick off of your shit or somebody get they on. Them hitting the licks.
I
Get me a
wouldn't call it
phone or
that though,
three.
because they running it like a operation.
Oh, so
So
they
it's like
take
if
a
that's what I
surplus
do
of
every day.
names.
What is that?
Okay, well, if you get a surplus, yeah. If you got three or four different names with three or four different accounts circulating 3 or 4 different times a week, you got you moving a few.
You got to think five lines of account. That's 5 names, 25 phones, 25,000. It's
That's
a, it's a
if you
move
getting a
for sure.
ban a phone. That's if you getting a ban a phone. I
Yeah,
don't.
at
It's
one
not
point
too
they
many
was.
people buying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right
At
now it's
one
more
point
like
they.
600, 700, depending on who it's
Yup,
through. But
yup.
even then, if you
You
cut
try.
it in half, that's still what 12.5.
It's more than what they make it at Home Depot.
Definitely. But
Which Home Depot is a great job, and you'd be lucky to have it. But
yeah. Scamming is not good. We do fraud prevention now. We don't do no crimes.
no, no, man. That's last year, man. This is the new dope game. This is
Yeah,
the new dope game, man. Get yourself a personality. Hop online, man, and talk about it.
I'm telling you,
Get
it's much better than
get
going to
get
jail.
Yeah, man. Well, some people, speaking of jail, just real quick, man, some people there's a comfort level
Mm.
to being in and out of that spot. Like, and I was one of those people that was just in and out. I wasn't comfortable. I was just in and out, in and out. And you get cats, man. They, hey boy, what's up, boy? Well, I ain't seen you in a long time. Where oh, he over there in F dorm, you know. So it's like this reunion, and then like people don't be stressed in there. Like I get grays in there, and I got lawyers. Like
Yeah.
I keep a lawyer on retainer. If it ain't nothing but a band, here, hold on to this until I ask for it back type. And like I be stressed. Sometimes like I don't want to talk. And cats be just like, you know, chilling
Yeah, they used to it. They don't mind going in and out.
and don't got a lawyer. Got Tom as the fucking PD and he don't remember your name when he's sitting talking to you.
But you know what's crazy? I had a lawyer on my Fed case, and I ended up getting more time than my co-defendant that didn't have a lawyer. So it's like, at some point when the feds get you, it's all based on your guidelines for real.
It is.
Unless you
So
just
the
got a lawyer
feds
that
and the
knows
state,
somebody.
the feds and the state is two different beasts,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. And I know like with this, I've never I had a run in with the feds, and like when they reviewed my indictment, they were like, you know what, we're not going to move forward with it because we don't have what we consider
mm-hmm.
enough to prosecute. State was like, yeah, that's enough. That's good. You can leave them other two boxes in there. That's good. And so, but I've had the same lawyer for over a decade, and I find the value that in a lawyer, it's not really like the skills. They study the
Mm-hmm.
same book. Um, with him, he knew that I was 100% guilty. And like we talk, he calls me six. So like we had a personal relationship. So I
Mm-hmm.
can be like, okay, so I start the conversation hypothetically, and here's the rundown.
Right.
And then so we know I'm trying to get the best deal I can get out this motherfucker. Let's you know, I only want to talk all the other lawyery shit. I want to get into the nuts and bolts. What I'm finna get.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not acceptable. And I'm willing to sit these 19 months in this motherfucker because it ain't burning me. I know my guilt level. So and I know I can't stand it. What you need a couple more thousand? What you know? I'm not hiring you to go to prison. I'm
Yeah.
hiring you to negotiate. Take this nigga to lunch, breakfast, dinner. He got to
Yeah,
eat.
definitely. I think that's what make a
I
good lawyer. Like, do
yup.
you know the prosecutors? Is y'all cool? Like, can you go to the prosecutor and be like, "Hey, man, I really don't think he did it," or "I think you should really just give him this," or even on the other side, if the lawyer can file a motion and get something through off the case and get me lower time through that, that's cool too. Either
Yup.
one. But me personally, I was so red-handed, nothing was getting through off my case. So, like when you red-handed, you just need a good plea bargain lawyer.
Was it some fraud stuff?
Yeah, I was in Meyer. We had 1,000 cards in the trunk. The card printer, the embosser, the writer, and we had just left out from getting some iPads. Went back in because one of my co-defendants wanted the book bag, so we went back in for the book bag. Then walking out again, I see the secret shopper following me. I knew it was over because she pointing at me, and I see the cop car. I'm like, oh yeah, wrap it up. And that's exactly what happened. Wrapped it up.
The jig is up.
It be like that sometimes, though.
So
Honestly,
tell
I
the
thought I
people
was gonna get more time than I did.
you know, I always think I'm gonna get a little bit more time because I've always been like popped with like this scheme. I always have that charge scheme to defraud, and it's
Mm-hmm.
always this mass thing. And I have like right now I have over 130 charges on my record, but it's
Right.
all like you know what it is. It's all like fraud. Every time I've went up, it's been 30 charges here, and they knock down this, that 20 charge. So, and in my beginning, it was a lot of check charges and IDs, and then they package it in that scheme to defraud package, and then like the amount, like what I got out of the place. You know, they like to layer it like that.
Yeah.
And my lawyer was always like, well, you're not ready for that deal. We'll see you next month.
Yeah.
Because
But
he's
see,
not
in the
going to
feds,
jail.
that'll
I'm
cook you.
not doing this. Oh, the feds, they'll cook you. They come to court with the butter.
You know that puts you in a different guideline range. So now you all the way. What is it? Level category 5 or 6 or something. I forget how what it go up to. But you get over there, you might as well wrap it up. You on career criminal. Call it a day. I really don't know how they said they ain't have enough for you, because 9 times out of 10, they'll wrap you up with that career criminal. But
Yeah,
you know
and I
the
didn't
feds,
know.
if they feel like you gonna get probation, they won't charge you. They just be like, it ain't for us. Why put you on probation and watch you for a couple years? We just wait for you to do something else and then really cook you.
Because when they popped my friend Black Zach, they had him and his girl. They got him getting off the plane. They took him and told her, "We'll be back. Yeah, we know all about you," because she was using that alias at the time. So yeah, we know all about you. And gave her real name. And we'll be back. The indictment's coming. Popped him
Yeah,
and let her go. Get a
that's the
babysitter.
scariest thing ever too.
Yep.
Ain't
I was
nothing you
scared.
can do about it. They
It
watch
wasn't
you
my
like a hawk.
indictment. It wasn't my indictment. I was scared.
And
Yeah, I
man, that's
was. So what?
crazy. I don't watch your interviews so much. I feel like I know y'all personally.
Man, and this life is so crazy, man. When I first started it in like third, fourth interview in, man, the first time I went to a McDonald's and was like, yo, six. And I turn around and it's this big. So my first thing is like, I know that from the chain gang or something. Probably know me. I've ran into that kind of all the time, depending on like where I'm
Hmm.
at. Uh, and I don't really hang with cats like the
Right.
hood and all that. I don't hang with the niggas that's in jail type shit. I kind of got my own lane. So when I turned to seeing him, he big. I'm already in my head. Did I play ball with this? I don't owe nobody. 5, 6, 7, 8 carry the one. Yeah, no, I don't owe nobody. And he was like, yeah, man, I was just watching your podcast. And I said, get the fuck out of here, bro. I've been waiting for this moment.
So
Get
you've
the
been
fuck out.
waiting.
I've been waiting for. What do I ain't got no pen on. He ain't want no autograph. He was just like, yeah, man, I be watching it. Y'all
So
love
you
this
done
shit.
finally
So
made it at that point.
I'm telling you, bro. Let me ask you, man. Um, so like this is like the new dope game. This is like a whole different, like kind of hustle. And I see
Hmm.
like you kind of taking it, and you've embraced it.
Yeah.
What were like what is the biggest challenge? Like I get this a lot, man. Yeah, man, I want to start a brand, I want to do such and such. What is your biggest challenge in this stuff?
Honestly, for mine, I think it's the legal requirements. Because I do fraud prevention. So if I tell somebody get on onlyscams, I'm gonna teach you fraud prevention. I'm gonna tell you how a scammer commit the crimes, so you know how to protect yourself from the crime. So then it'll be somebody that get on there and decide, okay, I'm gonna just straight up ask you, hey, I got this MSR X6 and I'm trying to go do this, that, and the third, and then now I gotta step back from it because you incriminating yourself and me. If I help you, I'm going to jail. But had he said hypothetically, if a scammer had an MSR X6 and he wanted to do X, Y, and Z, I could answer the question. But since like I just had somebody today, I broke that down to them, and they told me, no, it's not a hypothetical question. I want to know for me. And it's just like I'm
All
scared
right,
of you.
so I'd have been like, so listen, detective.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, like I'm
yeah,
scared of you, man.
I get that a lot. Like that is the majority, the mass majority. Like people wanting to, how I get put on, man. You know what? And
Yeah.
like I don't know what to say. Like I talk to a lot of people, and like I say, listen, bro, um, I would never encourage you to lead the type of life that I led in all those years that I lost. I
Right.
think fraud is wrong. I think scamming. I think getting money that way. You should earn a living. That being said, um, 96% of the that hit me up and ask for, you not ready to make money, bro.
Yeah, for sure,
Like
bro.
you not money. To me, it's a whole like mindset. You can tell the niggas that get money and the cats that hit a lick when
I
they
was
got some
just
stuff.
saying this. It's like by our age, it's already sorted out. The people that's gonna get some money already got some money. The people that ain't got no money ain't gonna have no money. It's like you already said you done waited 30 years to go get some money. And then if you can't do the bare minimum of reading and like everything really on the site, so if you can't get it from this, then you really ain't gonna get it at all anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like if you couldn't watch the
Comprehension.
podcast and learn something, it ain't for you. Like reading is fundamental. They ain't even got the fundamentals yet. And then it's like it's so many ways to make money. The same effort they could put into this, they could have put in this drop shipping or something like that, made the same amount of money. It's people that want to go sell the fake watches, then rather than sell the real watches, you could go do the same thing, go get some business credit, and go do it for real. But I got a whole nother business that just do that and get people business credit, stuff like that. But they don't want that. They want to go on only scams and figure something else out. And you know,
Because it's effort.
yeah.
It's effort, bro.
But it's the
Some
same
cats
effort
don't
though.
wanna.
Like from me to you, like you know, it's really effort that you got to put into to busting stuff down if you're doing it like a job. Like if I'm gonna go get some fake IDs, go get some names, some social security numbers, all of that took effort, real effort, and it took money. People be coming in with $0 talking about how to make 2,000 a day. It's not gonna happen like that.
You know,
Even if you got a plug, like which you ain't gonna pay the plug. Even if I gave you the plug today, what you gonna do with it? You ain't got no money.
and a lot of times them cats already ran off on the plug and messed up this here spot and messed up that spot, and they looking for a fucking no, I had
Probably a
a
next lick.
core. Yeah, they just looking for something.
Which you
They
know the
looking
way
for
it is
something, man.
now, like these days, all the plugs is digital anyway. Like it's a whole bot on Telegram, and the plug ain't taking and giving you nothing without getting his Bitcoin. So you know, if you
Right.
don't pay the bot, you ain't getting your stuff anyway. It ain't no running off on the plug. If you don't know what to do with the work once you done bought it, that's on you. You can't go ask no questions or nothing. He gonna send you that social security number and go on about his day. And if you ask a
Right.
question, he gonna block you. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I get it all the time, and then like I kind of review the person, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not sure like you built like that, you know. So how old are you?
I'm 28.
28. Well, you got an
Yep, I
old
went to
soul.
jail when I was 19, I think.
Yeah, you got an old soul.
I've been
You got
getting
an
that
old
since I
soul.
was 19, probably since I was 17.
Yeah, because that's what it's all about, man. That I feel like the older you get, the wiser you get.
Hmm.
Money comes. I don't want to say easy, but like you can recognize money
Yeah.
and opportunity, and the effort is different. You know what I mean? Because you know, God damn, if I fall back 2 days in a row, I'm finna suffer for that next week. You know what I mean? Like the effort is different, man. I don't know, like it just see. I don't want to sound old, but like the new, the kind of new way to hustle is different from like how cats before used to hustle because it was harder, difficult, more. You had to put more in it to get more out of it,
The
and then
old way
drops
is like on
happen.
the streets, like you had to really know somebody or go see some people. Not with the internet, the whole world is your neighborhood. You go sell something to somebody in California. You just got to make the content for him to see it.
Yeah.
It's pros
So
and cons to it though.
what's your story? So give me the story. Give me the scoop.
All right, I'm gonna give you the scoop. Let's start from the beginning. I was probably 11 when my daddy died. You know, I was a spoiled kid, so I watched him growing up. You know, he used to sell drugs and like he. I won't even say like he was like big through the neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, to me, from my perspective, he was big. You know, like everybody in my family respected him, and he got money
Right.
to that point. Him and his brother. So You know, I kind of like wanted to be like my daddy when I grew up. But I was so spoiled at the time, like I'm not thinking about where the money coming from and none of that. I just wanted new games and all of that. So when he died, you know, it took that away. So now it's, and you know, my mama killed my daddy, so really everything kind of crumbled. So we went from having it to having nothing. You know, she fighting the case for it. She ended up getting manslaughter, and I think she did a year with work release. And they only gave her that because they wanted me to testify. But if I would have testified, she probably would have got off. Because at the end of the day, you know, I'm gonna say what I need to say. What you gonna do? Lose two parents?
Right.
So
Right.
I ended up going to live with my auntie while she was fighting the case. And you know, she'd come out and work release and see me with, you know, when she could. So it went like that for about a year. Then we moved to Canton. And while I was in Canton, I want to say the first thing we started doing was jugging. Well, let's even before that, you know, we started rapping. So now it's me and my cousins, cause now you know, pop's gone, so the structure gone. So now we running the streets, cause ain't no structure. And, you know, at his house, ain't no structure either. You know, I love my auntie to death, but it wasn't no structure. We going out, we out at 5 a.m. just running the streets.
Come back when you're tired.
Yeah, like literally, we blocks away at girls' houses, and I don't. They ain't had no structure either. Where was they mamas? It was just, you know what I'm saying? It was a crazy world, but it was fun. Looking back, it's like my kids will never know how fun it was to live that type of life. But it was me, Biggs, Paid, he RIP, AJ RIP, and Lonnie, my other cousin. So Biggs is my cousin, Lonnie is my cousin. Paid, he was from Hubble, that's 2 blocks down. And AJ was from 7 Mile, but he went to school with Biggs. And oh, it was Mazo too. But he came a little bit later. But you know what I'm saying? Everybody, we kind of congregated, and everybody had their own people they was getting money with and doing stuff with. So we all brought that to the table too. And it ended up being something like crazy big. Like it was, I think, if you really want to say it, all the people that was claiming BandGang but wasn't BandGang, it was probably like 100 people at the time. So you know, with that is gonna come like a lot of knowledge, and you know, how's y'all get money? How y'all get money? Okay, we trading, you know, information. So it came about that everybody started doing the same thing to get money, and that was jugging. It was Instagram jugging. So making fake pages, like I say, my name is Cash Flip Mac. You know what I'm saying? So when the person go on the page, it like we'd have made a whole persona of a person that maybe work at Western Union, or at the time it was Vanilla Reloads. So we act like, you know, we work at Vanilla Reload. So when a person go buy the Vanilla Reload card and say put 500 on it, we tell them, okay, you can make $5,000. If you read us the numbers off the back of the card in our system, I'm gonna put a zero on it. So all I need you to do is send me the $500 after I do this for you, but you got to read me the code on the card. But when they read the code on the card, we just
Access.
dropped that cheese on the R card. So now you out your whole 500. So we, you know, we did that for a while. And my thing with that, I wasn't even really the cash flip like person. I was selling bowls. So I was the weed man on the fake Instagram pages. I done did both. I done really did every type of way. But my thing was selling bowls because it just made more sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard for me to tell you that this makes sense when in my head it really don't even make sense. I think that's a scam, so I'm gonna tell you it ain't. Now with the weed,
Right.
it make more sense to me because everybody want to find a plug, so I know
Right.
like what your pain points are, so I can cater to that. So you know, I did my thing with that, and we all did our things with that, and you know, we were young at the time. I think I want to say like 15, 16, 14, something like that, like around them times. This was when did we start? It all started in like 2011. So I don't know, but whenever it started, you know, that's how it started. That's how I first got into my little scamming journey. And Biggs is the one that showed me. He really didn't even want to show me. You know, that's my blood cousin, but he was looking at it like, man, I shouldn't even put you onto this, man.
I'm giving you the spice.
Yeah, but you know, it was at a point where it's like, hey, either you gonna give me the source or we gonna fall out over this, cause hey, you ain't gonna be the only one getting no money. Like that's crazy. So you know, he gave it to me. I did my little thing, changed it up for me, and we really had like a whole play running. Like we ended up making it something bigger than even what it was. Like we started making websites and having people just go on the website and enter their information, making it look realer. But then from there, one of my other cousins, he was swiping at the time, so he ended up catching the case for something. It was something irrelevant that they ain't had nothing to do with swiping, but he was gonna sit down for a minute. So he telling me like, okay, I want to put you hip to it. So when I'm sitting down, you can run everything while I'm sitting down. So he had me buy MSR, and when he sent me the site to buy the MSR, I don't know why he didn't just send me Amazon, but it was some descript site. Like it was a weird site. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess back then Amazon really wasn't so big. So I went on there and I saw a different thing, like a mini DX. It was like a smaller version of the MSR, but all it did was read cards. It didn't write them. So I bought that too.
And for the people, what exactly is an MSR?
The MSR, I might have one sitting on the table or something. I do. This is the MSR. What you do, well, what scammers do is they take the card, swipe it through the box, and it can read the card and write the card. So it can put new numbers onto the card. So that's what we used to do at the time, fraud prevention. Nah, this is just for demonstrative purposes. But from there, I I had to learn the site too. So the first site he took me to, I think it was Rescator. And for people that don't know, the Rescator really suck. It's all right, but the valid rate low. But they got a refund timer. The from there, I learned about the site. The first site I learned about was the Rescator. So on the Rescator, for people that know, the valid rate was low on the Rescator. So that means like 1 out of every 10 cards will actually work. So with them odds, and you got to really know a BN that worked for it. BN is a bank identification number. So the first 6 numbers that's on any card, that's going to be the BN. So 519269, that's going to be Bank of Montreal. That's the BN for Bank of Montreal. 519322, that's also Bank of Montreal. For this card is 435880. That's the BN. That's the card that's going to be the numbers that's on the card. So any card number that start with 435880, that's going to be a Visa gift card. So he showed me about the BNs too, and he had BNs that was working for gift cards. So from there, he showed me how to write the cards. Then he didn't show me how to go in the store though. From there, he just had me driving. So I got 300 to drive them around and take them to the stores where they were swiping the cards. But that was enough for me. I synced every facet of the game. And, that really would have been cool for me. I wouldn't even have made no big deal about it. But I remember it like yesterday. When all the money ended up coming back, we went and picked the money up from the check cashing. That's where everybody go in Detroit, at least, to drop off their gift cards and get the cash for the gift cards, exchange them. They was paying, I think, 85% at the time. So when we dropped that off and got the cash back, I got the $300. One of my cousins got like 2,000. Another one got 1,000. And he got like 7. But I remember them laughing about it like, ha ha, you only got 300. And from there, he was like, okay, driving is over with. I'm not just only gonna have 300. Like this don't work for me. So they felt some type of way because they felt like I was entitled, but it wasn't even the entitlement. It's just y'all made it like this. I wasn't even thinking about it like that until y'all said something. So what I did, I took the mini DX that I had already bought. That's the mini MSR, like the one I just showed, but it's like the size of your thumb instead of big. So I gave that to somebody that worked in. I think the first one I went to was Cold Stone. It was some place that I shouldn't even have gave a person the box at. But she got, I think, 10 cards. In the meantime, I was buying cards from the site, waiting for her to come back with the box. Wasn't nothing hitting. We going out of town. I think out of maybe 100 cards I had bought, maybe 2, 3 worked. Odds was terrible. I'm spending money, losing it. It ain't going good. So that box came back. The numbers of the box came back. She had like a 10 piece. Every one hit. So I say, oh, all I need is to find people that can really get card numbers. So then I start finding people that worked at McDonald's, different McDonald's, like all in back cash. So I had people in Canton McDonald's, in Detroit McDonald's, in Bloomfield Hills McDonald's, any McDonald's I could find, Taco Bell's and Wendy's too. Everybody that had a job, you know, I'm fresh out of high school at the time, or I might still been in high school, I don't remember. But whatever it was, I knew a lot of people that worked at McDonald's because, you know, school. I know y'all from school. So I get them $10 a card. They'd come back with normally after a week 100 cards. Now my thing was I'm not even gonna try to hit the card for 1,000, like no nothing crazy. I'm only hitting it for $100. If I can pay $10 a number and get $100 back, that's 10x. If I can 10x my money every trip, I'm good with that. So that's exactly what we did. We went and now even with that, not every card will work. But at the same time, some cards will work for more than $100. So after I swipe it for the 100, well, we'll try it again. It might work for 200, 300, 400, 500. But some of them, even if we check it at FedEx and it worked, it might not work in the store for the gift card. Like the bin just might not work for gift cards. So the odds ended up being like out of 100 cards, you're gonna make like 10,000. Like that's the numbers I was playing with. But I was getting so many cards, it ended up being maybe 300 cards a week. So we doing the numbers though, you know, it's making sense. But then I was the only one with a box. Nobody else had a box because they still buying numbers off the site. So that went how it went for a while. But then a new being came around, like the one I just talked about, 519269. It's so legendary, I still remember it to this day. Every card was hitting for 1,000, at least, at bare minimum. One of the homies went to jail because he went and did 50,000 in the mire buying gift cards. He sat back there buying gift cards, didn't leave until it was gone. And he didn't even get arrested that day. He got arrested when he came back, tried to do it again. So you feel me? That's how that being was working. Everything was smacking. So, you know, we had a run with that. And I ended up going to jail, you know, the same story. But when I went to jail, like I say, that I had 1,000 cars in the trunk. So that's the scale of where I was at the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the site had just updated. So it was a lot of 519269 and 322s on there. So that was the mission I had set out for. I had set out for a life-changing mission. Like, this going to be the last one. And it's crazy that when you say it's the last trip, it's your last trip, all right. And that's when we got caught leaving the mire after getting some iPads and some gift cards. I had a $400 Nordstrom gift card, an iPad Pro Max, I think, and an iPad normal. And what else? I think the other people with me had them too. And I had a Canada ID. The reason I did Canada because I know nobody in America know what a Canada ID look like. So when I showed it to the people, they like, okay, let me go through. What else was it? And then it even to that point when the police pulled me over and he like, Canada. He didn't know it was fake either. He just like, He had to call in the numbers, and I'm really like, you know what? You ain't even got to waste your time, man. Just come on.
Yeah, let's go and get this bond out the way, man.
And that's really where I messed up, too, because I was so thirsty for it. I'm in jail. I done got on the jail phone, called my girl, told her, hey, they took the card printer, they took everything. Order one for me, have it ready when I get out. And that is why I didn't get no bond. Judge heard that, said, yeah, you stuck here, buddy. But on the back end, you know, I got smarter while I was sitting in there. And you ever read the book Busted by the Feds?
No, I think I have, but I don't be into those kind of novels when I.
No, it's not a novel. It's like a educational book, like for people that get arrested, and it should show you like your guideline range and all of that.
Okay.
But I
Oh,
read
okay. Yeah, I
I
have heard of
read
that.
that, and it had gave some examples of people that got out in ways they got out. So it was downward departures, and people that know it's not a lot of ways to get a downward departure. It's really a hard thing to get. It's like you can get a 5K one, like you can go tell on somebody, or you can, what is it, a Rule 35, or
These are all federal guidelines stuff
yeah,
that you're
this all
telling me
federal.
about.
I couldn't even tell you about what go in the state. Like I got state charges, but them all got dismissed. So as far as federal, I can tell you about that. I said it in there.
So, and you've only done one stint.
Yeah, got out, never went back. Don't plan on doing it either. Don't plan on going back.
Yeah, no, that's for a whole breed of who you know.
Yeah, but
I feel like it ain't what you do, it's how you do it.
definitely. And then at the time I'm going in there myself. Like I'm scorching. I'm the man with the plan. I'm the man writing the cards. I'm the man going in the store. I'm everybody. I'm playing all positions, and I shouldn't have been. Had I just been the man in the back end, which I was some trips, like I done sent cars out to different states and multiple states at the same time. But this is supposed to be the last trip, and it's a hard thing to trust somebody with 1,000 cards. Like it's
Yeah.
life changing money. You can't even trust them to bring the money back. So I went, got it up, and tried it. And that's the problem. But busted by the feds. When I was reading that, I learned about the downward departure for family mitigating circumstances. Since my daddy died when I was a kid, I used that. And the only reason the judge really even went for it, considering I made that phone call when I got locked up, when I was in the county, like awaiting trial and all of that, I had everybody sign like a petition, or I wrote something out, said, I had made a program in the jail for inmates to, what was it, like reacclimate to society and be better people or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And everybody on the unit signed it. They like, if you think this gonna help you, I'ma sign it. Ooh, everybody just happened to be real ones, so it's like 100 signatures at the end of the day. So when she saw it, she amazed, like, dang. And then my mama on the outside had everybody sending in letters, everybody we knew. Like, I know people from the hospitals and, like, some decent well-off people, in well-off places. So everybody writing in letters to say, he a good person. So the state on the other end saying he's a bad person. And in my reason of sentencing, the PSI lady didn't like me either. She said I was a liar and a manipulator. So, the judge didn't care. All she cared about was them letters, and she saw that as, genuine. So she let me off with a 2-point reduction and no enhancements. Well, I did get the enhancement for sophisticated means, the real people, and device making equipment. But even then, I didn't get no aggravating enhancements because the prosecution wanted aggravating ones, and she let them off. So yeah, I ended up doing the 2 years, got out, and that's crazy too. 2 years for all of that is insane. One of my like Biggs ended up getting 3 years, and he had 100 cards on him. So I think I won at the end of the day.
Yeah.
My other people, the one I said earlier with the 50,000, he ended up getting 8 years, but his was federal too. And then we all ended up at the same prison too. So we was in there just kicking it. It really wasn't as bad as people make it seem. Like, prison is bad. Like, it's nowhere nobody want to be. But, you first go in there, you think, dang.
You once you get acclimated.
Yeah. You thinking
Once
every
like
day going to be a fight for your life, and you just got to stab people every day. It ain't even like that for real.
but some people do be living like that.
Yeah, but them
Because they
mostly in
put
the maxes too.
themselves in that circle. But
Yeah.
they people put themselves in those kind of circles. I've been at Rikers and a lot of like in Florida, like the bad prisons, ACI, FSP, Gulf. I've been at those spots, but like I'm not a blood crip. I'm none of those.
Right.
I'm more like I roll with the athletes. So like I had that circle, and I'm just a solid.
For sure.
And of course, I run into I gotta beat a few up or whatever but I know how to talk to a nigga, and then I know how to diffuse a situation, or at least open the door to, well, if he trying to fight me or whatever, whatever the case may be, I know he blooding, I know he bleeding, but what's up with the fade? He
Yeah,
got to
for
be a
sure.
man before he bleeding. Let's
For
see where
sure.
his heart at. I'm telling you, we ain't got to answer that question. I can't whoop all of y'all. We ain't even got to go through that. I fold, you know. But yeah, I've had good. I wouldn't say good times. I do, because I've always got somebody that sends me old super too, you know.
Hmm.
But I think it's just the personality that gets you, especially in there where you in a box full of hyenas.
That's true too. Cause I
You
got a story about it. Like, one of my co-defendants, AJ, you feel me? He was on the unit next to me when we was in FCI McKean. So he telling me the story. He say, his bunkie from Detroit too. Like, we all from Detroit. So he like, yeah, bro. While I'm in the room, it's lockdown. Bunkie just whip out two knives and just lay them on the bed like he can't wait to use them tomorrow and get to. And it's just like, them the type of people like you're a crash out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he got all day, like he had like a 10 piece, but you gonna see light at the end of the tunnel. You was young like us, like he was 19 to 20 something around that time too. So you gonna see light. There ain't no reason for you to be out here stabbing people for no reason. But it's like some people just, like you say, their
it makes
mentality is,
sense, and it used to not make sense until I realized like there's got to be crash dummies.
yeah.
There's a category for them. So some people just that's where you fit in life. Dummies check. Ignorant, uh, uh, um, impulsive thinking check. That's the box you in. Everybody can't be bosses. They talk it or they want it. They aspire to be it. Everybody, I know a lot of rappers. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of rappers. I know very few good ones. And then out of the few good ones, I knew even fewer ones that are actually putting in that work,
Mm.
recording, showing, showcasing talent, trying to get booked here, practicing on that pen. Like there's a difference. And I don't get mad at them. That's not as real as me. Because
For
10
sure.
motherfuckers in a room, you're going to find 10 different people with 10 different definitions of what real is.
That's
I
true.
heard when I sat in the feds, I sat in Pinellas County, and in the day room, this was day two I was there, and we're watching ESPN, and it was just one of these little rooms, and it's like the TV room. So I'm the new guy. I'm sitting solo, the square. So I'm sitting up front. Mom, I've been watching ESPN. There's a group of niggas in back of me, four of them. They're
Mm-hmm.
talking about um, sending their girl around to get info to tell. And the conversation was like, you know what, I'm finna have my girl go around there across Fletcher. The Mexicans be around there. Now I know the Mexicans got guns, bro. And like this is the conversation. Like they're having this conversation like me and you talking about the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm finna send bro, I know. And then maybe 4 days later, they were releasing somebody right before a holiday. I wanna say Thanksgiving. And they were releasing them on some he finna go snitch or he finna go work. And they were congratulating him. Like it worked. You got the deep boy. Good luck out there, boy.
That's
Your
crazy.
bed available. Go on, get him, Tiger. And like I had nothing to say. I'm like, is this how Feds is? And I'm the only pretend real because these is like, man, I'm trying to get out here to my baby mama. Is this how I go? I don't know, but it don't change me or how I rock.
Yeah, for sure. I ain't gonna lie. That's insane.
Yep.
Where was you at, a
And that
low?
was I was at Pinellas County Jail, and
Mm.
they house like the federal inmates when they're
Mm-hmm.
going through there, because like from all around, everybody filters there if you're a federal inmate. So
See, I
this
ain't
was
gonna lie. That's the
specific
county
federal
though.
housing. Yeah, that's
Once
the
you get
county.
to prison, you get checked off the yard saying something like that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But there's a difference, man. Like there's a niggas is different.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you right. And honestly, I don't even see it like. from certain people, it's like Matt, for instance. I feel like Matt is a white civilian. That's Matt business. That's not my business. Matt, I don't know Matt. Matt ain't telling me. That's Matt business. If you thought Matt wasn't gonna tell on you, that was you was at fault for that. Why wouldn't you think Matt was gonna tell on you? But you know, and that's
I
not nothing
feel
to say
like
bad about Matt, you know. But I just feel
I
like
feel like you're only as strong as your weakest link. The chain is only as strong as that weakest link. And that builds something that, like, I was going to ask you about your circle, because you've reached like a level of success, and you got to have a strong circle.
yeah,
And I was going to ask you about your circle, but in speaking on the circle, like, you can't legitimately like move forward. All these niggas we watch, Cat Williams, and all the famous cats, they of course have a crew, and you not gonna make it if you ain't got no solid crew.
that's
Even if
true.
you say, let's say you the baby, or look at probably Thugger, Slim Thug, or Young Thug. Young Thug ain't had, your circle wasn't solid. If you still doing shit, and you ain't got other cats that's dedicated like they do that kind of shit. Like, you can only go. Barack Obama became president because he had a solid wife. There were years where he was out of the political sector, and his wife was like, "Man, do you pursue your dream?" So he was a stay-at-home mom for a while, trying to get it together. And Michelle was bringing home the bacon. You know what I mean? Your circle is only as strong as the niggas that surround you.
That's
And
true.
cats will link up and crew because they talk real. They use a real. Yeah, I know my dog real. You can talk Jesus off the cross, bro. Come on down here, man. No more sinning down here. Come on, bro. No, bro. Real is real. I can see a real across the street with a disguise on,
That's
because
true. That's
I
true.
know how that real move. So
I
getting
mean,
money. Let me ask you about getting money. Do you think that getting fast money is an addiction?
yes, it's an addiction that I have not been fully cured of. It's a problem. It's even with legal money, it's like it can still be fast money. If I hear somebody say, like, I got to play on the flow, and this, we might buy 5,000 units of hair dryers, and we just need some money to do it. My addiction to the fast money is gonna tell me that's good. Give them the money,
That's
invest in
good.
that, and that's a problem that I really have, and it caused a lot of problems in my life. Like, I just had a white boy. You know, this go back to what I was even saying about, like, what I'm saying. If Matt got somebody, that's their fault, and this was my fault. Cause why was I doing that? And I he had came to me. I met him through his girl. You know what I'm saying? I was doing some business with her or whatever, and she they was going through like a bad situation where they was living out of U-Haul. So I'm like, hey, look, man, you shouldn't have her in that type of situation. If you need some cheese, come holler at me. We could put something together. Let me know when you're ready for it. So he hit me up like weeks later, like, look, I'm ready for it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I done got back on my feet. I'm doing this tub resurfacing with my pops. I want to make a business doing that. I say, okay, what you need for it? He gave me a list of stuff he needed. I went and grabbed everything he needed. So we we get the I have him come over. We get the business started up. You feel me? We do all the paperwork and everything. He go out to do the job. He gets some like 3 jobs booked. He go to the people's houses, get a deposit for the jobs. So one day I just started getting calls on the business phone number. Like, you scamming me. Woo, you done took the money and ain't doing the job. Da, 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 da. You gonna go to jail. I'm like, I know he ain't doing this. You rent. So what ended up happening was he took the equipment and sold it, took the deposit money and ran off when the full job was worth more than the equipment. You could have just did the job. But I guess he felt some type of way because I came at him like, he felt like I was trying to little boy him. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't say this in front of his girl or nothing. I this to the side, pulled you to the side, like, you living raw, which he was. So, but hey, You know how I'm to that point. If anybody knows somebody named Jonathan, let me know. I need to get Jonathan some help, and I'm always looking for Jonathan. Right now he in jail, but he'll be out one day. And if you just so happen to come across this video when Jonathan get out of jail, and you with Jonathan, and he don't even got to know you watching this, just give me a call, and I'm gonna get him in some rehab. We gonna get him help for that problem.
And we will give you a finder's fee.
Yes, we will get a good finder's fee for my friend, because his health and well-being is my main concern.
Main concern. So like my last little stint was this little program, this drug program, and I was a dickhead in the beginning, like because I'm not addicted to any drugs. So you know how that go, and how I ended up in this 18-month horses outside insurance paid program. But like I'm 6, and I've got like garbage bags of clothes there, shoes, designer shoes and shit. So it's obviously like I'm a little bit different, and I'm not paying attention in these little drug therapy classes, doing my condescending thing, and this I got into, was that the fight? That was a different. So I did get into the fight. That was the time. So I got into this fight with this nigga. And that's a cardinal rule. No sex, they has co-ed. No sex, no fighting, can't escape. Me and this cat go through it. Now I know everything's recorded, all visually recorded. So and the way I argue with a nigga is just like I'm talking to you. I don't know how to speak fancy like fuck nigga, pussy nigga, make my mouth look like chicken. I don't know how to do that. What do you want to fight? And you need to know how to fight. I believe you can fight, but you need to know how to fight if you're fighting me. So we go through it, whatever. We walk outside, little smoke area. He's still bumping at the gums, nigga from Jacksonville. So I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make our way to the dorm, and I'm gonna give you exactly what you're looking for. So the camera, all of this sees is him and me just kind of standing there, and then I go first, and he follow me, and of course half the facility follow us. But I tell her, y'all wait outside. So I beat him up, and he's got a shiner and all of this stuff, and so it word spreads. Before I brush my teeth good, word, and the staff looking for me, so they looking for excuses. They want to know what happened. So everybody kind of fended for me and saying that I was the victim. And with no sound, just sight, it looks like this guy's all this. I'm calm, and he's following me. So I tell him, listen, because I'm the winner of the fight, don't let me be the victim. I'm the victim. I just happened to get the best of him. So he went to jail, and I was on thin ice. And there was this one director, and the director, I would say was gay, because he talked like this, and he had the talk. He had a wife. They were expecting a baby.
That don't mean nothing, though.
And I know it don't mean nothing, but I was like, if it barked like a dog and all that, but God, you got so much other evidence. Everyone knows his wife there, but when I tell you he talked, it was that anyway. So he sat me down like the next day. One of the counselors that complained I'm not participating sat me down the next day, and this man just broke it down to me. He was like, I know what you do, bro. I know why you're here. I know you don't have a real addiction to, let me see what this says, opiates, heroin, such and such, such and such. He said, so I'm going to tell you what. If you scratch out all the drugs and you put in place getting fast money, and if you give me a week of this program, do all the paperwork, because everything's going to come to me. He said, I'll let you skate the rest of the time. Low key. I just want you to actually give it a shot because I think there's some value. And I don't look a gift horse in the mouth. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And like by like the 4th or 5th packet that I'm just rushing and filling in these blanks, I'm like, God damn. Am I really addicted? All that stuff just fit right on in with the thinking, with the addictive keep running into the same wall, expecting different results, and you know, keep on going to the same spot, because oh, it's sweet, it's sweet. No, it's not sweet. It just happened to work the last 2, 3 times.
Yeah.
And like my smarts should tell me, take what I got, move on to the next project and all this other stuff. But that addiction be like, this is the last time. I don't know how many times I've said like, okay, I'm gonna get 100 band, and I'm gonna put that up, and then that's it. So I'm gonna take
Yeah.
that, and I can start working, and but I got a little nest egg. But while I'm building up that specific, I take a little out here, and you know how it go, and it's the fast life. Like I almost miss it. Like
Mm-hmm.
the hotels, the cars, the don't even notice
Everything
it's
free.
man. You don't even notice it's the 28th, 29th bills.
Mm-hmm.
I just wham bam, bills, and that whole lifestyle, going in the malls, go wherever you want. It wasn't like you looking at price tags. Is you know, yeah, I get that. Yeah, you just getting
For
clothes,
sure.
shoe comes, this, that. I'm like, man, that is definitely an addiction. So I looked at it, I worked on it, and fast forward, I'm on a podcast with you. Thanks, guys, so much for subscribing. Tune in. No, sorry. But yeah, bro, that was like it was like a revelation to me. Like I have a problem. I do.
That's real though. You can admit it, and
Yeah, I do.
I see it too. I didn't took AA classes too. For I had 2 state cases before I caught the Fed case. I couldn't take the drug program on the Feds because I ain't have enough time. But I I say when I did get out the Feds, this is even better story. I got an anger management class, and I feel like that helped me more than the drug classes did, because I really did have a problem with anger management. Like people that know me now wouldn't guess like I was what type of time I was on back then. But I think like all them programs, like they hold value. Like I was really living the wrong way, worried about all the wrong stuff. And even like how you say about the money and waking up to the bills and all of that, like that's a real thing. People don't understand. Like a lot of people know how it feel to be stressed out about the bills, but not a lot of people know how it feel to wake up and not worry about it. And like that's such a blessing, a blessed feeling to have. I was just waking up the other day off of this, like off of legal money, not worried about bills and telling myself like this is crazy. Who would have thought I wouldn't have to worry about bills and wouldn't have to do a crime either? Like it's a lot of legal money out here. People just got to be not scared to go get it and do the work and the
These
research
days,
necessary.
these days more than ever, like the
Mm-hmm.
advent of I love social media. Some people get like spun, and I gotta take a break. Why? Is it hooked to you or something? Like all my social media platforms, there's no notifications that come on my phone. It's an app. Why would I let it stress me out? If we're in the comments, and somebody in the comments, man, Six look like he's smoking crack or something. I'm not finna. It's a comment from some nameless person in fucking Montana.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how. And I was just talking to somebody about like these day and age of like men being super emotional, and how much of like that blend of the line between masculine energy and feminine has just like thinned,
Yeah.
because like people think like their anger, it's the same thing. Like women are emotional, they're wonderful creatures, they're emotional. And no, hell no, hell no. So you translate into a nigga to into the male masculine. Man, fuck that. Fuck that. And man, them niggas got me fucked up. It's the
Yeah.
same emotional outburst, just more
The roles
masculine.
really reverse all the way. Like the girls is the new niggas and the niggas is the new girls. It's
Yep.
crazy. I
Like
was just
men
arguing with
want
somebody the other
these.
day about him being emotional. He told me, I don't get emotional. I get mad. Which is the same thing. You don't see it, and that's the problem. You're being emotional.
Because like how I was raised, like a man is stoic. it's almost hard to get a read on a man. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying like there are emotional men. It's perfectly manly to cry and all of that. How I was raised was like the man is the rock.
Yeah.
So when there's craziness in the world and outside, and my wife, Shaquita come home, she's emotional wreck because that's kind of like, that's what she's built for. So she's unloading all this stuff. The kids come home, they unloading all this stuff to dad because I'm a rock. Such happened, and then man such, oh yeah, I'm barely paying attention because I'm on Sports Center or whatever it is. But I'm here for you to unload you and like in my home, I never knew what my dad was feeling. I can't as a child think back to a rough period of my dad his emotional state. It's just he wasn't that. He was a rock. I always he to me growing up, he just knew everything. I'd always ask him. I was always, why is the sky blue? Why? Because he knew everything. Everybody knew him. He was respected. So because I could see the respect from other people, I just thought he was just Jesus's best friend. Like this guy is just special. And it was because like that image that he was this rock. Like fast forward, like I was at the gas station on my motorcycle. I saw this older Toyota Camry backing out kind of the corner. They're like, so he's in this corner spot. A lady in a brand new Lexus SUV was kind of turning. So she sees him backed out. She hit the horn about 4 times. Them quick beeps. Beep, 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 beep. Hey, watch it. I'm in a real expensive car. I'm worried. Man, that jit hopped out that passenger side. Like, why in the rah, 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 rah. Hit. You could clearly see that the lady, it was a woman. She fishbowl. Hit the side of the car. Bum, bum, bum. Come on now. You ain't living like that to be. And I'm watching the whole scene from my bike like, man, that could have been me. If I had turned the corner in my car and I saw that I probably would have hit the horn the same amount of time. The difference is if he walked out on me like that with that aggressive manner,
You gotta
you know what I
match it.
mean? And I would have been that close to fighting in jail because I would have met that hostility with a different level of. But like that goes to my point, like people are like emotional, like men. And I guess
Yeah.
I don't know, it's trendy. Like
I don't know
I
why.
don't,
That's something I learned from my daddy when I was a kid. It was a time when somebody was just irritating me and I was showing that I was physically irritated. And he sat me down and said, like, as a man, you never let somebody see when you upset. You can be upset, but don't nobody need to know you upset. And that lesson is stuck with me throughout my whole life. Nah,
control is power, friend.
it is.
And I just did a podcast with this cat Migo. Shout out to Migo podcast. Um, and he was going through it, with it around his way, and this old fuck nigga, with Blase Squaw. I say, time out, bro. So how little you think he is, he has to have some type of power. Like y'all went through that a week ago. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if it's on me, like I always judge, I kind of gauge my enemies. I fall out with this cat. So is he worth me going through how I'm gonna go through it? Because if I go through it how I'm gonna go through it and expend my resources for war type shit, it's not gonna be on some eighth,
Yeah.
an eighth of gram. Them type of niggas I'd rather just block them. But I got
That's what we
unlimited
learned in
blocks.
anger management.
I'd rather just block it because I don't have to. These day and age, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. My same circle, I've learned that like they know what I'm hitting for, so I don't have to like prove how tough I am and man, I ain't gonna let them size me or try me and get over on me because nobody's really gonna get over on me. I'm set. You know what I mean? And it would be more to me just to cut that cat off. You need me, I don't need you. Yeah, I just cut that off. I'll let you have it,
For sure.
and let you have whatever opinion you think of me, because you're not really a mover or shaker like that. It's
Hmm.
different if you have a different space and I may have to address it, but besides, if you not on that type of level for me to pull up and have that convo, but pettiness and craziness and weakness, there's a place for that. Like, you know, puppies and chihuahuas go through shit. Y'all are
Yeah.
supposed to. It's what you're built for. I'm just not. You must not have recognized that I'm a rock. So I'll give you that, and I don't fault you for not recognizing who I am, and then I don't have to prove to you. You know what I mean? I just let
Hmm.
that go. You got it.
You know
You
what
got
worked
it.
for me? When they broke it down, when I was in the class, and they said, you know, say you in traffic, somebody cut you off, like the situation you said. What if that lady was honking at you and you didn't know her kid was in the backseat dying, and you over here stressing her out about honking at you? You could just get out the way. You don't know what's going on. You over there making assumptions, and the way that hit me is like you really don't know what
You
nobody else
really
going
don't
through
know.
in their life. So I just try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and it's like it don't make you no less of a man for giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. If anything, it make you the bigger one. Cause hey, if I can help you get your kid to the hospital and that's where you on a rush to go, let me move out the way. My pride can't be
So
bigger than you saving the baby.
I did a podcast on road rage because like I'm almost the exact opposite when it comes to like that road rage stuff, because it's not that I'm extremely patient, especially I ride motorcycles, so I know how crazy people get. I automatically assume that everybody's dumb. And when you do the right thing, it's a surprise to me. So when you do the crazy or you're stopping and you're slowing and all that, I'm just like, oh, there's another one.
Mm-hmm.
And people in the whole right lane up, finna turn right, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. My bad is what you have to say till you almost killed me. Because people in the car, you're not just people on bikes, they be going a little faster than everybody else because all they're doing exclusively is driving. When you're in a car, you're doing other stuff and driving. You're literally sitting like in your living room that has wheels. So people are checking the phone and their thing and they're in the conversation, and driving is a part of it. So when they're surprised by the bike, they, oh, it's because you weren't driving.
Mm-hmm.
Lane filtering is legal in California because in California it's illegal to be on your phone,
That's true.
and they ticket you and they all of that. So they say if you're driving, you saw that bike, you didn't hear that bike coming. And to like a biker, like when I'm riding and I'm looking between the two cars, it's enough to fit four bikes in there, four bikes between. You know what I mean? But I'm not aggressive. I'm not, I don't do it assholey. When I lane filters because everyone's stopped, and then I go to the front because I'm finna get ahead of traffic. I don't ride with traffic. I place myself in traffic. I done got speed pulled over speeding and tell an officer, listen, I don't ride. I never do the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
I put myself in spots in traffic. I say all that to say, when I looked at like road rage, it's because people are in a safe space and like stuff will happen, and because you're in that safe space, it gives you a comfortability to like express yourself, and then that expression sometimes turns into anger because we don't know how to communicate any other emotion,
Mm-hmm.
frustration or anxious anxiety, whatever. And you're absolutely right to the point. Like I've written and some shit happened, or I'm looking, oh, why the fuck is this so slow? And when I zoom by them, they're 90 years old couple, riding, and I'm like, what if that was my old mom? Because I know she ride a little slow.
For sure. It's all
What
about
if that
perspective.
person in there? It is, bro. It is, and the maturity to, because people know that they've had. but it's the maturity to recognize it and use that perspective.
Yeah, that too.
And
I know
maturity is
younger me wasn't the me now, you know. So, but
mm-mm.
let me ask you
Let me
this though. Oh,
yes, sir.
if you got something, you go.
Well, I was going to ask you who is the most important person in your life right now.
The most important
Can't
is
be
my
mom.
daughter.
It can't be mom. You know, the can't be the main. You know what? I'm gonna take blood out of it.
Okay.
We'll take blood because it's got to be
Ooh,
your daughter. Love her. Who is the most important person in your life, and why?
no blood.
No blood.
That's my top 10
I only
people
can
was
pick
told, boy.
that one person.
That's a hard question. Who do I even deal with that ain't my blood? Maybe maybe one of my peoples from high school. The person I probably talk to the most is Tay. So I say, but I could. It's other people that you know I'm close with too at the same time that ain't blood. It's people like we didn't share blood, sweat, and tears with. So it's hard to say. But I say
But
this:
that
the
person,
person I
this
spend the
person
most
is
time with,
important. Yeah, important to you.
the person I spend the most time with and deal with the most is more than likely Tay. You know what I'm saying? That's the homie we done went to school together. We done made made a lot of money together, lost a lot of money together, lived basically the whole adult life doing the same things.
You trust
But
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? He didn't validate the trust on multiple occasions. So as much as you could trust a person, you got to give them that. I
I
also
think
believe
it's
you
too.
shouldn't trust nobody with
Nobody.
just blind
I
trust.
trust is earned. Respect
That's
is
true.
earned.
But that's
And
why
I
I got to
think
give him that
too
because he didn't earn
often,
the trust.
too often nowadays, like people are just give you that trust. Like, all right,
Hmm.
man, no, I trust you, dog, because you talk a good one. It take a long time for me to trust a motherfucker. A long time because like trust is once you reach that plateau of I trust you, that's trust. Like
It's
in
a
my
saying
home,
that the person that didn't tell this time, he just didn't have enough pressure on him to tell. So trust is fickle. You should be careful of who you trust with what. Because the person that did 10 years, even if another 10 years come, he had 10 years in him then. He ain't got 10 in him now. You never know what a person might do
mm,
when it come down to it.
that's a fact. My bestie, bro. I went and did that same 18-month program. So I was no, I just did this my last little program, and I was gone for about 4.5 months. And in that time, he ran my house. I have a townhouse. And I got electronic doors, front door. So you got a fingerprint to my front door, back door. Um, this same laptop that had access to my banking and all of that, he was paying every bill. Um, Money on the phone, ran all my operations and stuff from moment to matter of fact while I was gone, had some repair work and an exhaust done that I had from Australia. He handled all of that, took care of, oversaw all of that. I mean, it was wonderful, and that's trust, bro. Like
For
having
sure.
access to that account, you know what I mean? And you don't even have to scam that. You got every piece of debit that you got the actual phone that the account is linked to. There ain't no scamming that. He could have just taken that and moved. He from uh, England and the not the Virgin Islands, Barbados. He could have went to one of those islands and been pretty good for a minute, you know. And there wasn't a penny that was out of place.
He was a real one.
As a matter of fact, business ran as business ran, and there was a slight influx because I wasn't spending, and you know what I mean. It was just all whatever profit margin was doing his due. He had like a salary, and took, out of that, everything was always accounted. I mean, it was just sensational, and that's trust.
That's
That's
true.
that's when you and he had that position over family members, because there was that different trust. Even though I do trust my sister, I only got one sibling, and then my mom and dad. I trust my sister wholeheartedly. I don't trust her to run a business.
Hmm.
So she would have, but yeah, that's trust, man. And there's not many people in that inner circle.
No, I
Not
definitely
that I
get it.
have. Not
I'm
that I
that
have.
for a lot of people, but it's not a lot of people I put in that position. Really, the only person I would is probably my mama. That's the only person that didn't did it, and you know what I'm saying. So I can't really say what nobody else would do, but she didn't did it, so I know she good.
And I'm
Maybe my
so
kids, mama, but
untrusting.
hmm,
I'm so untrusting, bro, because I done been in and out of jail. And each time in and out of jail, I'm good. I ain't good for a god money order, bro.
I know how it
You
feel
out
because
here living like
these
that.
the people you
I
done made so much money with. It did not. It's like, hey,
I
what
know you out
happened?
here making money. I know you out
Yeah,
here making money. Even if you ain't out here making money, because I was the breadwinner or the head of the family. I'm not good for 50.
yeah,
Hundon. You know how I live out here. You know I like nice things. I ain't good for. Call my mama, bro. I'm not asking you to be a wholehearted adult and figure out how to send me money online.
hmm,
If baby mama can do it, I'm sure you could sit down for these 3 minutes to open up the app, find out my booking number and all that. But and like that, I think about that type,
yeah,
because like if you my friend, if you in my inner circle, you have access to all my resources. You know what I mean? Like if you my friend, you can call. Hey, bro, God damn, I'm fucked up. Do me a favor, bro. Let me hold such and such, and that's not a problem. You know what I mean? A friend,
yeah.
because money is, come and go. I may be able to find a few dollars more easier than you. So money is never a thing. But if you're my friend, I use you too. You're helpful to me like I'm helpful to you. I don't have any friends that come over because they ain't got weed money and they want to smoke.
Yeah, for sure. I don't either.
I don't have
Honestly, I
any
don't even
friends like
talk
that.
to nobody that's not family except maybe Tay and Tiz. I'm probably the only two people I talk to on the like a current basis, recurring basis that's not my blood family. Everything I do is with people that's my blood family. And even then, the amount of people I'm trusting with my bank information is like I'm the one out of the whole group. I take everybody bank information and send the money. Don't nobody trust nobody else with the bank information. They want me to have it. So it's like I'm not giving my bank information to nobody but my mama because I know she gonna do right by it because she didn't did right by it. It's like I get it for sure.
Hmm. You think it's easier to make money these days or in the older days?
Easier. It depends on what type of money we making. Like quick money is easier. Well, it was probably just easier in general back then. But I say I know more now. So if I wanted to go do something now, like I like instead of a card, I'd use a profile. You know what I'm saying? So I go get a bank loan instead of trying to get $100 off a card. It might take me a couple months longer, but I'm gonna go get 50,000 instead of $100. You know what I'm saying? So I say,
But like starting, you're a 2 month, two year in guy on what you know. Would it be easier to be a 2 month in guy back in the day and get some, or a 2 month in guy trying to get some bread now?
back in the day, because back in the day, everything was going. Every card. Now I don't even want to say every card, but enough of them was going to where you could risk it. Then if it don't work, you're gonna use the refund time to get your money back and try it again. These
But see,
days, most of the
I know
sites validate.
back in my day, like I've never used uh got went online and got bins for numbers and all of that. I was going in hotels, sweet talking the concierge and getting the credit card authorization forms,
Yeah,
and they would just take pictures of those and I pay
See, you putting in that
$100
leg work. I know
but
about that leg work though. That's
that's all
real.
we had.
Like
That's
that's
all
like
we
what the
had.
box was. You know, that's that leg work. People don't know about that leg work, but you get better work when you do that. The site
I don't.
is
So
good for
I
what it
didn't
is.
know. I didn't go through 100 pieces of information and only X amount were every one of these was popping. I
Right.
paid $100 for to use some shit,
Mm-hmm.
and I would get a lot of meat out of that meal because all the stuff that I was doing out of those specific cards was all hotel, rent a car, and plane stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
all that activity just fit right on in with what we were doing, you
But you
know.
know,
And,
even
and like these
nowadays,
these whole
even if you
good.
did it the same way now, it's the like the way it is. They want the phone number on the credit report now. So even if you using the same number and they want to send a code while you in the store. So if you ain't getting it, it
Yeah.
would depend on where you at too. But like let's say Home Depot store credit, they still give you that instant credit, but they want to send that code. So now you know it is a little bit easier to go get that profile and you know say pay that $30 to get the profile and then pay another $50 to add a number to the credit report. That is going to be easier than it would have been back in the day. Cause back in the day,
Yeah.
you couldn't have did that. But back in the day, you didn't need to do all of that too.
Right.
So it's like
Like the
different stuff is
verification
easier.
processes. Yeah, they're learning. I know like with Synchrony Bank,
Yeah.
they went from being some of the hardest people to crack to you crack us, we coming for you as they want verification, they want a video, and not just they don't want a picture of you. They want
Mm-hmm.
you
The
like
live
this,
picture.
you gonna give a video. You finna
Yeah.
here, turn here, and then it'll only click if it accepted. You just ain't gonna send any old
Mm-hmm.
no, take it again. Nah, I didn't get your eye color right. Take it again.
But you know, it's ways past that too. You know, they using the
Oh, of
facial
course.
pro. You ever seen Bad Grandpa?
Mm-mm.
It's a movie with where it's a Johnny Knoxville. He dressed up like a grandpa, but he used a whole bunch of prosthetics and put them all over his face. And if you watch the movie, you could never tell this was Johnny Knoxville. So if people with the budget to do it can just put that on, you know, change their whole identity in like
Yeah,
for real. But
yeah.
that's for that amount of work, it got to be a play that's gonna make you 100,000. Who
Right.
gonna go dress up like Johnny? You know what I'm saying? Old man every day. But if the play
So
worth it,
people don't even this here's my thing about like the new age of people making money, getting money. Like you're not even built for it.
yeah.
Like I've known cats. I was watching a YouTube the other day where cats was hitting the PNC ATM in Wawas, you know, and they were doing whatever it was they were doing. So it was this crew of jits. It was it was two jits that had pulled up, and
Mm-hmm.
apparently they had went to a few of them, and you know got paid or whatever. Jit had a whole ski mask on because that's the cool thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a Wawa in the back at the ATM with the ski on. Um, when they call on whatever police come, they got guns in the car. They've been
Scorching.
smoking. Yeah, they've been smoking, chilling, because they just out chilling. And I've seen other cats, like I know other cats local and stuff. That's kind of like how they approach business. And like my thing is like if you're getting money, bro, do you not know that what you're doing that you're not supposed to be doing it? Like you running in here going to the ATM like it's your card and you're going in there just grabbing 20 bucks. You're really out here working and you're working like that.
And you know what's crazy? You would think that would be just like common logic. But when I used to send people on trips, I used to have to argue with people about smoking in the car. Like people that like I used to have a thing where, you know, even if I ain't there, if I found out you smoked in the car, you gonna get fined and deducted. Cause you know you risking the whole trip for some weed. Like you fiend
For
out.
some weed.
But they
Bro,
really be fiend out.
pull over, fill up your gas tank, bro. Just sit out outside your car and burn.
Man, don't
If
even
you
take
at
it on the
work,
trip. Don't take it to the trip at all. If they search the car, they gonna say, "Oh, we smelt the weed. Here's the
we
weed that we
smell weed.
smelt."
And here's the weed, which justifies the search.
Yeah. Now if they
You
say they
can't
smell
help
weed and
them.
it's no weed nowhere, we might be able to beat that later. We might
Yep.
get you out of jail, but you gonna make it impossible to get you out of jail.
That's a fact. Because they
And
had the
then having
probable
the guns
cause.
on you is just diabolical.
It's just crazy. But it's kind of like how people operate. Like they operate on that premise, like, I'm gonna go get me some money.
They be
And,
want to
and
be
that's it.
YNs, but it's like the scammer and the YN is really like two different things. Like you can't move like that. You you gonna get pulled over. Like the day gonna come where you get pulled over and you gotta talk your way out of that. I didn't
And
talk
it's
my
not
way
gonna
out of it so
happen.
many times.
It's not gonna happen when you got this you got all these
Yeah.
strikes. Bro, I'm out wheeling, speeding, all the time. Sometimes. And I've done wheelers down the street, burp, burp, burp. And then like the truck cop pulled me over. And I pull over. I got a license registration insurance. And I pull over. He's like, man, I've been watching you. The first three, I was gonna let you, but you hit one and went all the way a few blocks. So I'm like, man, look, man. And I always give them something. I'm like, listen, bro, I ain't even finna, man, I've had a great week. I'm a podcaster. We just got paid, and like my numbers were. I'm in a good mood. I'm not even gonna hold you. I have no excuse for what I was doing. Here's my license. That's correct. Here's my registration and insurance. All of it. This is my bike, not my baby mama and them. So everything comes back to me, and I apologize. I'm on my way home. If that's any consolation, I've never got a ticket
Yeah.
because
All you
all my
gotta be is
checks check
respectful.
check.
But people
It
want to be
check
so
check 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 check.
disrespectful and they'll hit you with the 2 inch roll down because they didn't synced it on a TikTok or somewhere. You ain't got to roll down the window. You just tell them, give them the ID like that through the crack. They take that as disrespect. Nah, they gonna fuck with you just because they want to fuck with you because you done pissed them off.
Yep.
They ego bruised. So nah, you gonna get out the car. Even if they wrong, so what? Nothing gonna happen to them. But if they can find something, you're cooked and you know you
It's
got
all
something.
bonus for
So
them.
don't do it.
It's all they're at work. You trying to get to your homeboy house to go smoke
Yeah.
and got mad. So I wanted to get you out. Me personally, I want to get away from this as quickly as possible. I know what
For
you're coming
sure.
here to ask me for. I'm already halfway getting it. I know what you
I'm hitting them
suspect
with the
me
I
of because I'm.
apologize. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know what I'm thinking.
I was
You know
tripping,
how
sir.
fast you were going. I'm not going to get into admitting or denying. I know that I'm in some kind of wrong. Here's my license, registration, and insurance. Go and run all that, and we'll talk when you get back. Because all my stuff check out.
See, I'm better than that. I figured if you don't know how fast you was going, then you don't know what the speed limit is. So I make sure I know what the speed limit is. So I'm gonna say that number. And if you can say
Mm.
well, you wasn't going that, oh, okay, then we just
I
gonna
don't.
go
I
from
don't
there.
want him to think. I don't want them to think that I'm gonna sit here and lie. So I'm not gonna confirm or deny it. But why don't you go ahead and run this license registration, and
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. So you know I'm not a whole bad guy.
yeah.
What they know I'm a bad when they see that record. But there's no risk number or threat number. I don't run. I bond out, so I don't run.
Even with the gang stuff being on my record, like when they run my name, it could pop up as gang affiliation. But they still just don't bother me just because I be so cool with it. They come back to the car, be like, you know what, man, you was so cool with me today. I'm gonna let you off with a warning, or it might even get a ticket. But go ahead about your day.
I
They so
think
used
the
to people being the other way.
other way. And like I have the understanding that like these people are clocking in to find criminals. Like they wake up, go get their coffee, eat, and I'm finna go to work, find some
Mm-hmm.
cats. So like when you pull me over, you don't know what I got going on. Could have just had some shit. I got bodies in here or whatever. So what they're trying to do, imagine if like I said to you, like I'm finna give you 100,000 cash for every arrest you make. Here's a
Mm-hmm.
cop car, here's a badge and everything. Good luck. So you're gonna go out there stereotyping, setting prejudging. There's 3 blacks in that car. Probably something in there. Let me find a reason to pull him over. And then when he pulls you over and it's you, hey, what's going on, officer? What's up? License register? Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, but they don't. So when they pull you over, bro, and you got license registration, all that shit, check out, and you 100% good, bro. They hold. demeanor and inside diffuse. Up, this ain't one I can get in this car. This ain't
Yeah.
one. I roll the window down. I don't smell nothing but blunt spray and lemons in this mother.
Lemon.
And lemons. Brother wasn't disrespectful and everything. Because I get it. You're out here working. I'm just not the one you can work. Yes, I do know my rights. No, you're not searching the car. This ain't got to be unprofessional. I'm just letting you know I know my rights. Oh, and we're recording, by the way. The whole, when you pulled me over before the car was in park, I press record. And it's just for my safety. It's all, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it.
So let me ask you this: out of all the scams you done seen in your day, what you think was the number one? Or if it's something you know that you can't speak on, you could get number two. Number one might be too new.
Um, no, the biggest thing I was doing was with Zach and those convenience checks off of off of the credit cards. So in our day, they were sending, if you had a great line of credit and a big enough card, $100,000 card or whatever, they would send you these convenience checks to try to uh, uh, get you to spend more money. So here's a $50,000 check, and the check would be, some of them were as clear as paper, just regular paper, just checking account check. You can go write it, buy a car or whatever, and it would be linked to that account, but it'd be a separate amount credit line.
Mm-hmm.
And we would get these checks and drop them. We would open up accounts with similar names and drop them. It was always like the best stuff that we were doing, that I was doing, had to do with accounts.
Definitely. I think the blessing for y'all had so much information on every profile. So it's like you didn't have
But
to do the
but
legwork.
we were, that was a whole thing where we specifically were looking for people with information. I would not trust information I bought from an anonymous source. That I was going to take that and do something with,
Yeah.
just because of how detailed I like to be in anything that I do. Like a big thing with us was going into places and the instant credit, and
Mm-hmm.
then we would build on that instant credit. And let's say Burdines was my thing a little bit, or Dillard's. So Dillard's would instant credit you $1,000. So we wouldn't touch that, but we would extend that line once. Okay, I'm gonna apply for the real visa,
Mm.
and then okay, you have this type of credit. Here's this 25,000, or
See, now
here's
that's some
this
good sauce
real.
right there.
Yeah, so then we'll take that, and the card wasn't to swipe. That's just a card where we're finna pump that in, and I want the cash out of that.
Mm.
So then we would take. So we had all these cards and accounts, and it's the circle.
Oh, 1 second, 1 second. You can still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
1 second.
It say no signal because of that bad. I told you that old Xfinity package.
No, this the camera. I got the DSLR hooked up, so the battery had died on it.
During that time, it is again, and you kind of got to it too, where you'd rather have a profile than an actual card,
Yeah.
and that was the case with me. Like the profiles were it. Like the cards and credit card numbers kind of lubed what we did. So the cards allowed us to fly to St. Louis, get the hotel to rent a car, and get over there and open the bank accounts and all of that, and without going into the cash reserves. So we were just kind of profiting. I didn't
Right.
see, like, I didn't like specifically gaining merchandise. I didn't want to swipe. I would rather, if I wanted those pieces of merchandise, I'd rather get an instant credit account and then
But
just
we
walk out
wasn't
with it like
doing
that.
merchandise most of the time though. We did the gift cards and got the 85% back.
Okay, the Giffies.
But
Yeah, I
knowing now
wasn't.
what I know, like I would have did a payment processor and pushed it through them too. So I would have went and got the 95
Mm-hmm.
instead of the 85.
Mm-hmm.
But the more you know. That's what's gonna be the
What
next
you
thing
know,
I
son?
asked you.
It ain't what you
Uh,
know, it's how you know.
what you
And what
think
you do
about
is how
that?
you
Like,
do it.
say y'all got the $100,000 credit line, like the cars y'all was talking about, pushing them through the payment processor. I think the only problem would really be the person catching on, since nowadays credit fraud monitoring is more prevalent than it used to be. Person might catch on by the time you get to the end of that $100,000 line, really by the end of the first month. So you got it's hard to push that through without getting that account closed.
And so that was the beauty of what the system that we had,
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't just, you know, one account for such, and then we worked that until we were at a point of having like a rotation of maybe 10 accounts.
Right.
And the absolute beauty of like the partnership I had with Zach was the desk guy, and he loved to be in the, I love to be in the field.
Yeah.
Like I love it. I love going in to like the banks or the department stores and Fred Stevenson, how's it going? You know what I mean? And whatever persona I wanted to be, I absolutely love that. And there was like this bond and trust where he could give me the 100 cards, and the money would actually be. I could give him the 100. I'll go in here, open this account, open this account, open this account, grab this here, send him these convenience, and he's shifting here, shifting there, shifting there. So it was such
Mm-hmm.
a process. Whereas, like, you know, you during your time, like, you were the figurehead. So you
Right.
had to figure out where this, that. Imagine if you had a twin that was equally as competent as you,
But see, the
equally as
problem,
motivated.
I did have twins that was equally as confident, but the problem is everybody want to be their own boss. So you feel me? If he knew how to do it too, he just wasn't working with me. He was doing his own thing. He was getting his own money.
And you can't get a lot of money like that. Yeah, I mean, you can, but like, there's nothing like when two heads get together,
Yeah.
bro.
It's the problem. We
And like,
made hundreds of
we
thousands
get
when we
this
could
money.
made millions.
And that's the problem with like our culture. That's why like the Koreans open stores, and these cats at the corner store, the Indian, the Arabs and all of, they all live in the same house.
Hmm.
Bills get broke down, they employ each other. We all finna come up. You a boss, I'm a boss. Let's get together and take over the city.
That's true.
If is this city too small for us, we can get the county. If you're sharper than me, as that, like, there was a time period, especially like when Zach and I first kind of merged, where what I was doing took precedence in what we were doing. I, I ran the show,
Hmm.
but it wasn't that, like, because I don't have an ego like that. But it wasn't that I was running the show. It's just that I had the plan, and Zach, being the leader and intelligent like he is, he knows how to fall back into that number two spot. And let me hop in the passenger seat. We trying to get it to Mexico.
For sure.
And later in our Zach had the plan, and it was a well laced plan. If you give me a formula, bro, or if I see you doing such and such, man, I'll hop in the back, sir. Yes, sir.
It's very few people like that though. Like I feel like
That's why
we
they don't
cut from
get
the
no
same
money.
cloth on that aspect. Like if you get that formula, like if I find out the method and like if I see it one time, it's over with. I can go from there. I don't. You don't even got to show me where you getting nothing from because I can do that part.
I don't mind being a foot soldier,
Yeah.
but I mean, I have a salary.
Hmm.
I have needs. In order to employ me, because I'll work for you. In order to
Hmm.
employ me, I gotta like the business
Hmm.
model. I gotta see that you're a general, because former generals go up under the army and be up under former. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like that 5-star general, I'm a 3-star. I know how to salute
For sure.
and let you run the show because you got a motherfucking plan. I
For
think
sure.
every good leader knows how to be a better follower.
For sure. I can agree
But
with that.
goddamn it, you better be driving that, because the first piece of anything, I'm out this car.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that
you
was the
can't run me
problem
into a wall.
when I first started. Like I was saying, like I was willing to just be in my position where I was at, but they just didn't play it right. You know what I'm saying? But I learned That's probably was the best thing that could have happened because then I learned how to treat the workers I had. You know, you got to make them feel. You know, you don't make them feel bad about doing what they doing or where they at in their position. They got to feel like they the most valuable player on the team because really they are.
Yep, they got to feel like it's us.
Mm-hmm.
We making money. Like, not I'm
Yeah,
not working for you. Yeah,
for
I'm
sure,
working with you. And
for
like,
sure.
and people used to like, I get messages with, tell your runner I said such and such. I was straight in that. No,
Mm-hmm.
my guy. Tell my guy such and such. My partner no. It's us. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
And I promote that. And a lot of times, like, they see the numbers, and I make sure they know. Well, it's not all about like you bringing me back, 3 grand, and I'm only paying you 250 for this project. That's not it. I'm not giving you the pennies. It costs money to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Information's not free.
Then a lot of people don't understand that this all
Then they're
it costs money
so
to
they're
put
not
this together.
welcome. They're not welcome in this business.
Mm-hmm.
They're not welcome with my company if they can't understand that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I promote. Listen, whatever you got going on, let me know. Let's make it right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need? A bill paid? I'll take care of that whole bill. I'm not going to give you something on it. I'm going to show you. You want an extra another 250, so you can pay that 350 bill. I'm going to pay the 350 bill. So you don't know. Don't squeeze me for money.
Yeah,
I'm
just
giving
looking
you
out.
what I feel like is the job is worth. Even though you see, I got all this money because I have the plan. But I want you to make as much money as you want to make if you put in that work.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be a thousandaire too.
Yeah. I mean, I just used to do 20%. So whatever we came back with, I give you the 20. I lose 15, giving it to the Chaldeans. So I'm lost 35. I can eat that. I can deal with that. But I had a play too on top of what I was doing. When we got the numbers from the site, they had a refund timer. So we'd go hit all the cards, then refund them after we hit them to make it look like that none of them worked. So we getting all the money back that we spent on it, then doing it again and again and again until it was 50 cents to check a card. So until that money ran out, we getting everything back. Or until somebody made a mistake and we didn't run through all the cards for the day or something like that.
The thing is, with our old game, it requires thinking, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why a lot of people ain't good at it. Because like I can teach you a lick, yeah, man, the Giphy's working such and such, so cats will know how to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they won't apply common sense. That's why, people, when I talk to people about it, like, I was into fraud. I wasn't into like scams, hitting licks. I understand the whole concept of fraud. So, like, somebody could come to me with the Bitcoin hustle and they're doing such and such and such. All you got to do is explain it to me. I can
Yeah, for
figure it
sure.
out.
I can understand that.
I can understand it. I speak that language. If we sit down and talk about it, I could. You give me a pen and paper, I can knock that thing out after you explained it because I understand fraud. A lot of people are lazy, therefore, like fast money attracts them.
For sure. And I deal with
They
that
en-
on a daily basis. Like
they
you
enjoy
wouldn't
waking up.
believe how many people come on only scams. They want to know that like they ask me about particular methods or like somebody, for example, people ask me, how do I punch? Or how would a scammer punch from Walmart? Why not learn how they punch from anywhere? You know what I'm saying? If you learned about the fraud risk score, you gonna learn how they punch from anywhere. Walmart is just one store.
No, cause I got something going on with Walmart.
Yeah.
I just want to know. No, you don't want to. You want to hit a lick. You don't want to understand. And consequently, this is why they can't get out of that realm of fast money and all of
Mm-hmm.
that because you're still mentally you're still stuck at the lick. You don't know how to make money.
Yeah.
Like instead of trying to learn how to get money, you gotta learn how to make it, bro.
Yeah.
Because if
Plays
that's
get
the
burnt
case,
out.
if you learn how to, they do. And if you're not evolving, because they are, they clock in, they sit down and have conference meetings
Yeah.
about all the licks that's done happen, all Bank America. and they breaking it down, and they've got specialists, and those people that are specialists, they went to school for 2 years and studied their little books. And even though like we in the field and we know real life application, people are clocking in to find us and stop us. And
And then
if you
some of the
have,
people is former us. So imagine you, they hired you. It's gonna be hard to get past that. Because one, you gonna take them from doing something small, like whatever fraud prevention they had, they gonna go up to max security. Nothing getting past nothing now. So a play that went from no boundaries, wide open, to nothing is getting past. Now the person is sitting there like, why can't I get through? When even then, maximum security, you can still get past it. It's just the amount of work. Is it gonna be worth the amount of cash out? That's really all it come down to.
the risk reward.
Yeah. But you know,
And people and I just don't see how like people are built for getting that money, bro. You gonna get that money. I'll show you some shit. You get that money. You come up 50 band off of this, that, and the third, bro. I won't see you in 3 weeks. Either I don't see you in 3 weeks, or if I do see you, you're trying to get some more because you're down to your last $1,700 and don't know where it went, and got a whole bunch of excuses for it. No, because my mama and my baby mom car was fucked up, and then I had to pay on that back. That's an excuse.
man,
That's why I
used to
don't
have this
give
one worker.
homeless. That's why I don't give homeless like men. I don't give them no money. You're a grown man. You better go work. They
Oh, you
hiring
saying
at the day labor.
you saying like corner bums, not people you done hired
Yep.
to work.
Yeah. Corner bums. I don't give
Okay,
them no
okay.
money. Yeah, you better
Yeah,
go
I'm
get
thinking
your
you talking
job.
about the workers. Like you had to
Oh
come on to be
yeah,
like, no, you a grown man. You chose the wrong person.
yeah, God.
Nah,
But you
yeah,
know
I
what
get
you
it
were
for
saying?
sure. I used to have a worker that was just like that. Like he was a driver for me. Like he'd come drive. You know, I used to pay what minimum 300, max like 1,000. Really, it was 300 a day. So if we gone for a week, you would make 2,100. But he'd come do a trip for me, then get back, and then not want to do no more trips for like a month. Be like, no, I'm good, bro. I'm up right now. Then when he down bad, be like, hey, bro, you ain't got nothing going on. What's going on, man? Why you ain't been messing with me? It ain't me
That's
not
correct.
messing with you. I didn't ask you to come on
And
the
when
last three trips. Now I really don't want to mess with you.
and specifically, man, Zach had when I first started dealing with Zach, he had a guy. Damn, what was his name? We called him Neo,
Mm-hmm.
and Neo was sensational. Like your white boy, had the look, the talk, and everything. And we'd send them, in these banks and everything to do his thug thizzle. And Neo will come up, so he, plus 30, 40 grand, and that phone go to voicemail. Neo is out living. He is out living. He got a girl, kids, and he did not mind like turning up and will not. And that was like a norm for Zach before I showed up.
Mm-hmm.
That was nah. Well, hopefully when he took the time out, he's fired. And do I have that authority? Like if we're partnering, because there's nobody I'm finna have that I can't depend on. It's too much money.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. Uh, you're under my employ, under my leadership, and I can't find you until you want to be found, and the paycheck is in the thousands. I'm paying for your availability.
Bro, a lot of people really don't understand. Like the scamming stuff is really like a real job. Like you come work for Scam LLC, you gonna have to work like a real job. I need you to be front, present, available. And if I call, you gotta answer. Ain't I want to do drug testing, but I can't. So listen, you gonna have to do what you gotta do.
Only because it's in your best interest.
Yeah.
You can't go inside the shop and operate because you think you do your best talking and speaking on Molly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or you think, well, let me calm these nerves down. So before you go in the bank to open this account, you get blifted, and you spray the cologne and blunt spray on, and you smell like cologne, blunt spray, and weed to a motherfucker that don't smoke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you think you're just cool on the, but yeah, no. Let's get this. What in reality, in through their perception, you talking to them like this. No, let me get
Yeah,
to Johnny White guy, you don't look cool. You look high.
definitely. You really got
And
to
we
come
just
in
said,
with the whole
I
new
amassed.
personality.
You do, bro. And I amassed a team, bro, that like these other two cats, they were into they were into it like we were. Like, let's
Mm-hmm.
go get some clothes on, not polo, because they don't recognize polo in the bank. They recognize what's the little nautical, nice little button up. Don't got to be fancy. Like this button up, I ain't gonna wear to the club. This is what like the blue, baby blue and white with the little
Mm-hmm.
corny shit. That's what you
Yeah.
wear in them spots. And I had a Home Depot hustle going on for a long time where I had a manager that used to pop X, and that's how I met him. Like we were at this little rave thing, chilling, and I don't know how we started talking about. Yeah, I work. When he was like, yeah, no, I'm a manager at Home Depot. Bing. So
Mm-hmm.
this come to that. So I'm paying him. I would call in credit card, instant credit, and he'd take down the information over the phone. Bop. Okay, you got to improve it. You're gonna have to call on it. Not a problem. I got the LexisNexis report in front of me. So whatever you're asking, I'm reading what you're asking. So I would get these approvals. I would only go on when he was on shift, but I wouldn't go through his line. I go through the asshole line. Who's ever the white old woman that I know you already think I'm a niggering. I go through her line. Whatever man, I go through their line because I'm gonna
And she
skip
gonna
the
go get the
scrutiny.
manager.
I'm going to the yeah, and if she does or doesn't go through, it just that scene. It looks like I skipped over Tyrone and Jaquan. I went to the white person. I went to that. I'm bringing the person because all my stuff is good. My ID is official. It's not. It's a real ID with a different name on it. This
For
credit
sure.
card approval is real. I'll wait. What are you verifying? I'll wait. I just happen to have an insider. And
Mm-hmm.
I would dress with, but anyway, when I was going in Home Depot, I'm dressed like I got jeans on. I got a shirt. The shirt got old paint splotches on it. I got a John Deere hat on with some boots. No
You
gold.
know, it's a crazy thing that once the work gets so good, you really don't even need an insto plug no more. Like it is a great thing to have because it's always good to have somebody that's not gonna call the police on you. But this ID, like that way the IDs is now, this is real ID. What are you talking about? This, and then this is name. I know because I got the credit report. He don't got this account. He ain't got no Synchrony cards at all. Synchrony don't even know him. The phone number has been put on the credit report. You can't tell me I'm not him. You can send a code, whatever you got to do. I'm him at the end of the day. So it's like paying the insto plug is like, and then they be thinking they just doing something so hot and crazy. It's like, man, you really don't even know
And
who
you're
you talking
not.
about.
And you're not. You're just gonna tell me when it's that you ain't helping this shit go through.
Yeah. And there's
Your
nothing they could
balls,
really even do to make it go through.
your balls ain't shriveled up under your hip
Yeah.
until you get. I'm going through this shit.
Yeah. That's crazy. You paying them
And and
thousands
and
for
it's
nothing.
and the difference in people is you see how how like the phone call, the process and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Cats don't even know that in running in Home Depot,
Yeah.
trying to hit these licks.
Yeah.
And I've even refined myself to whereas when I do stuff in store or whatever, like I'm never going for electronics. I personally like let's say if I'm going in, I kind of steer clear from like the Best Buys and all of that because they're just
Yeah.
sharp, they're on their game. But like in my check days or whatever, I'd rather go get a whole bunch of non clothes and this and that for the merchandise credit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not men's clothes that I get kids' clothes that comes with a story. I'm doing something for the gym or for the Y or for whatever. I always have a tale, and it's always weird stuff when I
Yeah.
was going through store stuff. There's always a presentation. Anytime I go in a place or I do something, I try to put 100% of my efforts into this resource. So when I walk in this motherfucker, I'm walking like, because I know all my info is legit. I know
Yeah.
this name ain't been called on. I don't like repeat stuff. Like, I'm on one more time on this name. It should be good. I left that name 2 tries ago. Because every time I go in a motherfucker, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I get real Kevin like. Oh, what the fuck do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? Fuck that. Get the
He said
manager.
he turned
Well,
into
who's
Kevin.
your manager? Who's on that 1-800 number on the wall? Let's give him a ring at home. There's just
Yeah.
no way. And I've had instances like that, and back in my business check writing days, where I've had the manager insert the key in the cash register and key it. Oh, you're all set. Sometimes this check system, sometimes it does that just to prevent such as. Well, I understand, but let's rectify the problem. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
almost feeling like that you suspect me of something, and I don't want to have that feeling.
You to cut into him. Say, hey, fix it. I would
Yep,
like a statement credit, actually.
yep. And I'm not raising the voice or whatever. I request to see your manager. Can I see
Mm-hmm.
your manager just briefly? Because I'm not sure what you're implying. I don't even like what you could be implying. And I got cash. Can you just write? You know what? And I was gonna just pay for this with cash, but I don't like the way you're implying it. For one, it's either A, you get this business with this check, or B, I just take my check in cash to your competitor.
Mm-hmm.
It's no sweat off my back. I just want you to know I'm not the person that you think I am.
Yeah. But see, that's what
Walk out with the
separate
bags.
a real like scammer from somebody
The
that do a
licks.
scam. Somebody that bust a play. You can bust any play. You could be a con man. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the gift of gab. And having that is really what separate the losers from the winners at the end of the day. If you go in there, get the plan, acting like you know what I'm saying, you little Tim with the name Robert on the ID, okay. Little Tim with the ski mask trying to get 5,000 instant credit. Okay, little Tim, be right here.
Hold on 1 second. Let me go
As a
get
matter
your
of fact, come to the back. We got a red Ferrari. You just won a
yeah, I don't know
prize.
what I don't know why this thing is messing up. Come on back here.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind that walkie-talkie you hear.
You know, even when I got caught, it wasn't even because we necessarily did nothing wrong. Like the U.S. Marshals told us, like, you know, it's crazy that you got caught here. They call us on all black people that come in and buy a lot of money. And normally we just tell them like they racist and they got to stop doing it. But y'all just proved them right. And it's crazy. It's like, you know, had it not been somebody that truly was racist, we would just went on about our day. We wasn't doing nothing wrong. Like the ID good, the uh card is good, everything was good. It's just the fact they didn't like us in the store.
And mind you, it's their spidey senses. And their
Yeah.
spidey senses are correct. I am here scamming you. I am here doing such and such. And you were right in assuming
Yeah.
I was on story. But I'm not let you finna get, I'm not finna, you're gonna follow these procedures because I know the procedures. And then sometimes it's all played by ear. Because when I see that hard line with that hard no, I'm out of here.
Hmm.
I already see
But
what the
see, they
vibe
didn't even
is.
give us the no. That was the problem. They gave us such assuring vibes, like it's all good, everything is great. Thank you for your service. Whole time, manager secretly calling the police. He knew how to play it. He got us for sure. Secret shopper following us around the store. But hey,
But that's why personally, I don't like, I don't mind traveling to work. So
oh,
I'm
that's what we
going
did.
out of the, I don't do nothing in Florida.
Hmm.
Georgia, all that. I like going to the sticks.
That's the problem. That's where we was at. That's the problem. We
Oh, and
was
they were on to,
we was in
yeesh.
Elkhart County. And it was all white people land. That's the problem. They saw two black people come in there and spending thousands of dollars. It's a red flag. No, what's going on here? Ain't no black person in this town got this much money as far as they concerned.
Mm,
And if they do, they should be in prison. Cause how did you get it?
How'd you get it, niggering?
So but yeah, I don't. I'm from Detroit. We rarely ever have bust something in Detroit. I ain't gonna say never because I done bust something here too. Normally, it was when we wanted to test something, so do like a one here. But then if we go out of town, okay, now we gonna do 100. But here is just like one, and even if that, because Detroit, one, everybody trying to scam in Detroit, so they don't. The low level people is all trying to do the same low level fraud, and they got it so hot to where as soon as you do anything, they you can't do that in here, you, and they they ghetto and all that. So yeah,
It's so
that's over
bad.
with.
It's so bad in my city where there are certain places where when you have a debit card, you still have to show ID
Mm-hmm.
with that debit. And by definition, it's a debit. The PIN is your ID
Mm-hmm.
by definition. And no, 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 no. That like that drop season. I don't know how it was. And did y'all have a drop season?
What's that?
Income tax scams and frauds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we had a whole thing, drop season, and I mean it was huge. You couldn't have a debit. That debit needs to be accompanied with an ID
Mm.
because it was money. You couldn't find drugs. Everybody was
So
dropping.
it was bought out.
Everybody. I
That
mean,
sounds
and
like
that's almost
PUA.
literal. If you weren't dropping and scamming, you knew somebody. Baby mama was working, and
Mm-hmm.
like you can get a card. They ain't got an ID on that card. That card, you can get a card. Everybody could get a card,
For
easy.
sure.
It was
Now,
just pumping during that time.
for Michigan, taxes every year is a thing. So even this year, like it was a tax wave this year. Every year it's a new tax scam people doing. And if you ain't getting 20, 30,000 back, you ain't go to the right tax lady. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying?
ain't filing.
Yeah. That's just what they do. And then the crazy part to me be the people that get to 30,000, then might get audited and then be mad at the person that gave them that got them 30. You knew what you signed up for. You knew you ain't never got 30 bands in your life. You be getting $3,000 refunds. And you got a 30 ball. Come on now. So I know if you did that to me, you got my taxes. No, you was lucky to
That's
draw.
that's how a motherfucker looking at the motherfucking text when man, what you just got back from the casino talking about the email that you got. You know you ain't due $30,000 refund worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come back to me.
People is
Don't
crazy,
tell me
bro.
about it.
Then 9 times out of 10, the tax lady gonna ask you like before she even put that on there, like, hey, I can put this on there, but it's a 50-50. It is what it is. Do you want me to or not? Either way, I need my cut. When it come in, I'm
I
gonna get
just
my cut.
I just don't like doing nothing with my name on
Oh, of course not.
it. That is deceptive. I don't like doing nothing. I've been traumatized time and time again. I've been beat with that stick.
We
You
fraud
can't get
prevention
me.
specialists now, man. We don't do fraud no more.
And it's funny because like I have good credit.
Mm-hmm.
If Big Brother credit knew what I've done to folks credit, they would not give me that credit. But I was blessed with having like a dad that was into the future. So I had a debit card young. He gave me a debit card and would feed me an allowance through my debit card. So then I could see my spending. And even though we didn't have computers and apps, you could call and get the balance and hear the last transactions. So like he built this bill responsibility thing in my head. So like fast forward as an adult, like I would get these bills and like that's what I'm making money for. The bills, the bills, the bills. I move, I gotta change that address, such and such, because I'm always concerned with the bills. And then later, with what's it called, automatic bill pay and all of that. My anything that's assigned to my credit that I get a payment for automatic bill pay. That's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't paid it off yet. So I have one account for all of that stuff, and then I have an account for my sit money, and then I have another account for the account that you know what I mean. So I
Yeah.
just fund the account that all this stuff is attached to, so I ain't gonna let you grab out too much, or I can make changes. But and I've always been very bill savvy. So fast forward, I have pretty good credit, And I think that, bro, that is the secret that the people don't want to tell you about, man. When you have a good credit rating, and however you get it, trade lines, uh, you know, however you get it, if you build up your credit, it just changes you. Like me personally, I have a X amount of $1,000 credit card that you can pay rent with, you can pay food, and you work on that and then pay that back. That's how a mom can be a fucking dad's a mechanic, mom's a teacher, and they're in a $500,000 home because of the credit. So the credit
Yeah.
lets you take the 500,000. With bad credit, you only got uh, a 20-year loan. Good credit, you got 30. You go get a car, it ain't because you got good credit you can get this great car. They know that they can put you on a 7-year fucking lease because you have great credit.
That's
They
true.
know they can trust you for that. So you don't have to have any money down because all that beginning money with the tax tag and title, we know you're good for it. So here's the keys. We'll mail you the paperwork. You've already shown us this is what your payment history is. They call it a credit report.
Yeah.
Ain't no delinquents, ain't no slow pays. You bout your, what would you like in here, sir? Just leave your ID at the counter. What would you like? And I'm kind of at that where I'm at my high 700s,
Mm.
but I've cultivated that. Like even if I go to jail or what, I'm finna shut down an account. I get real white when it comes to bill. Oh, the
Mm-hmm.
goddamn hell! What is this $13.07? Oh yeah, you damn right. I'll hold. I get white when it comes to that credit.
Yeah.
I should do like a credit. I should do like a credit cast where I teach my people about that. Like if you coming up on money, golly, invest in yourself and in credit, bro.
You should. You
It's
know, it's levels to credit too,
oh man,
cause
it's levels.
it's like I started kind of like you, but I got a bank account because I needed one for the music. I was the one that got us to first start selling the music, and to get the money, you had to have a bank account. So I opened the bank account, got the money. So from there, I got the credit card through the bank. That was my first credit card. I think it was like $500. It was secured at first. They upgraded it, then went to 1,000. Then I got a 2,500 one from Discover. Then I went to jail, kind of messed everything up, came back out, fixed it all, got what was it? TCF Bank. They Huntington bought them, but I got a card through them. They ended up giving me 9,000. Then I got a Amazon card through. I got Chase Bank, so I ended up getting it with them. They gave me another 10,000. Then both of them went up to 15, 15, and then from there. But it's what I learned too. AUs is good, but it depends on what bank, because not all banks even weigh them the same no more. But it can be good depending on how you use them and what the credit is built out of. What your credit is made from can have a big impact on what you're trying to get. Because if you're trying to go get that $15,000 credit line, and all you got is that $500 secure card, they ain't gonna give you that. But if you go get a primary first, say you go get a what's it called? I forget the exact name of it, but one of the like self, but not self. I forget the exact name of it, but it's one of them primaries that you can just pay for, and you can go get a $10,000 credit line put on your credit report. That's a primary, so you go get that first, and then
You
you
talking
go
a
get
trade
the
line?
no. That's a primary. It's primaries and it's authorized user trade lines. So a AU, that's gonna be like somebody else's credit card that you just got put on as AU. But a primary, that's gonna be like self lender is a primary trade line. They gonna
Yeah.
report
So
that
you
loan
you
as you.
yep. So you actually have, and that is absolutely you hit it right on the head because that's where they look at your debt to income ratio.
Right.
And when you're a primary, his line of credit is added to your income and debt line.
Mm.
And then also, when you hop on these like Credit Karmas and all that, you need to register report your job and the numbers you make for your job has to be, you got to put some numbers on there, man. You know,
Yeah,
60, 80, 60, 70,000 ain't no money
that's
to
true.
a lender when they're trying to, okay, but your bills are X amount of debt to income. So they want to see how much you're making and all that. And then they look at your lines of credit. So when you get on with this primary, when you get on with this credit card, how long has he had it?
Hmm.
What is his debt to income ratio on the credit card? It's no
Yeah,
good if you got $100,000 credit card, but he's got 90,000 lent out. The
you're
debt
right.
to income is horrible, so that's bad credit, or it's
Hmm.
not bad. It's overextended credit. It
Yeah, the
doesn't help you.
utilization.
Yep, it doesn't help you. But like I would definitely behoove people like your knowledge of credit. Like
Hmm.
people should inquire about credit, bro. Learn about credit. There's places cash is not accepted. Like you got to get out the shoebox and start getting this money in bank and let this money in banks and let it work for them. The difference between us, I feel, is like when we come up and get hella cash, we buy. Um,
Chains and watches, cars and stuff that
Whereas
don't.
rich people purchase assets.
Yeah.
A Maybach isn't an asset; it's a liability. As soon as you spend $100,000 on it, when you put the keys in the ignition, the value depreciates.
Yeah.
When you buy a $25,000 gold chain, when you print out the receipt, the value depreciates. So that money is not earned. A rich man gets that kind of money. He's going to put 50 grand and get a vending machine.
Hmm.
So now that 50 grand is going to start, it becomes an asset because monthly there's money coming back. It's
All
an
right.
asset. $100,000 instead of a chain, go buy a house and then rent that house out. It
Yeah.
becomes an asset. Rich people, that's why they say the rich get richer.
The difference between knowing it and not knowing it is very important. Not knowing it to have you, like you say, like even with the cars, like you could make that car asset if you rented it out, did a luxury fleet of cars and started renting cars out. But people are just, I'm gonna put it in my garage to look nice, and
Or
that's when it's gonna.
I'm finna put these $20,000 rims on them, and it not only depreciates the car, it's depreciating you lost money on the transaction, but you look real good pulling up to 1509 the club
Yeah, and then that's
and
only
and
while it's in
your
style.
picks
That ain't gonna be in style forever. Like
next year.
like spinners back in the day. You see somebody pull up with the same spinners now, you're gonna be like, yeah, you living in the past.
Where pop? Yeah, where pop come from?
But that,
Well, pop got it, boy. Pop got it.
like you say, custom jewelry, terrible investment. Anything custom is gonna be terrible because
Terrible.
don't nobody else want a chain with your name on it.
Nope.
Like you know what I'm
So
saying?
that's
Like this is
gone.
crazy.
A Smurf getting the bag of money and all that. That looks dope for the picture, but now it's different if you got a $50,000 Bugatti that has a serial number, so that becomes an asset
Yeah,
because
like
that
if you go get an
retains
AP,
value.
like an
You get
AP
an
or a
AP,
Cartier watch. Yeah,
and it don't ice it out and drip it because then now that becomes specific to a buyer that wants all
hmm,
that ice and all that. But you get the official tissue and you get serial number box, all that stuff registered. You have an asset.
yeah, for
You're not
sure.
wearing that every day, but you have an asset, and there's a difference. And I think like once you start making money, and all, you have to get smarter with money. Like you got to learn money. Money is a whole business,
It is.
a whole specialty, and you got to learn it, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to
Then
make more.
then it's like them levels. You start off with the personal, then you go to the business credit, and then you know what I'm saying. Once you're there, is the sky is really the limit.
To
We dealing
whatever
with,
effort, it's as high as you want to climb on that ladder, bro.
yeah,
Is how much muscle you got.
for sure.
Once
Like you
once you
got
learn how to they
corporations out here.
lingo.
Apple is worth $1 trillion. Like this is real money out here. This is crazy, and everything is possible. If Apple want to go out tomorrow and raise $100 billion, they can. They credit is like
Literally,
that.
literally tomorrow.
Yeah. And people gonna sign up and fight for the right to give them the $100 billion. Hey, I can give it to you at 5. I can give it to you at 3.
Mm, mm.
True,
And
it's
Steve
about
Jobs
learning.
is known as this revolutionary. That Steve Jobs is just the face of some very hardworking engineers, but he had a plan and a vision. And I got a guy that's a old ex friend of mine that has burnt all kind of bridges or whatever. And you know, he's, man, you're doing good. You're doing such and such. Let me get another loan and all that, bro. You owe me, 2,500 and whatever else it is that's in the past. So I would be less of the nigga you think I am
Mm-hmm.
if I went back into that bad business. I already know your bad business. I know
For
you are.
sure.
You showed me. That's your track record, your credit rating. I can't get back into that. I'd be a fool. I would be foolish if I reinvested in a bad investment. And
For
again, it
sure.
goes back to how I feel like you can talk Jesus right off that church, right off that fucking cross. You won't talk me into that. I know what you're hitting for.
Man, that's just because we come from that. You feel me? So we looking out for it anyway. So you think you gonna do a me on me? Man, you crazy.
No,
You offended that you somebody would even try it.
I'm offended. One thing about me, bro, I know how to be selfish. Like I know how to. I got $100 here. I'd rather keep that 100 because I know what I can do with that 100. I can turn that into a meal for all of us. So
Mm-hmm.
I know how to say no. No, 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 and no. I know how to say no because I went through it. I learned that while I was busting my ass and breaking my neck because I have a great heart. As soon as I get locked down or I'm out the way, they figure it out.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I'm breaking my hump and trying to help you pay rent. You know what? You figured it out all by yourself and without me. And not only that, you moved on and didn't look to make sure I was okay.
Yeah.
Cause you ain't got a fuck thing. So now you can't help me out. So I'll tell you what, I got a new principle. I'm only gonna let certain motherfuckers in this circle that have access to that now anyway, so you can help me if I'm able to help you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not finna let no shit. That was a New Year's resolution in '07.
That's a good one for sure. I just
Man, I
talked to
stuck
somebody
to
about
that
that
motherfucker.
on the other podcast.
Mm.
And that's crazy. It's like all the scammers we didn't learn the new scam. I guess it's the podcast. It's the new scam. Is
I
it?
say that all the time. This is the new dope money, man. It's the new dope money. And it's to
Like,
say, there's some cats that put X amount of effort into their craft. You can see it. And
mm-hmm.
there's some cats that invest and they've got good equipment and such and such. And you see them dropping every, whatever, and they've got into a rhythm. That's the same as trapping. There's some cats that's got it and they're same P. They got the eighths, but they're moving this way. And there's some cats that got the zips and they're at the corner store fighting each other for a play.
Yeah.
It's just, saying it is different. It's all in your effort, bro.
Honestly though, I think if we all came together, like we'd make more money together ever than separated. Because people that know me gonna know you. The people that know you gonna know me. The people that know the third party gonna know all of us. I'm happy to always get somebody else, my fans, because I know the people that's listening to me gonna want to listen to you. Like even if they just watching this because they saw my face on this after this, they gonna go, okay, who is he? Because he sounds like he knows something. So then
Yep.
they gonna go watch your interview with Matt. Then they gonna be like, oh, he do know something. He know a lot. Then they gonna go watch everything on your channel because he know too much.
Yep.
Then they gonna go watch everything on Matt channel. Then it's all just gonna revolve around. Everybody gonna eat.
And I give props to Matt. I give him his flowers because like he specifically has been like that. Like, listen, come on over here, bring some of the follows, bring some of the. It really sat me down and like kind of gave me the game. Like, bro, you know, you have a great personality and all that. How you gonna get millions if you ain't making? I don't get where your concept is, bro. You gotta fucking. And he and what killed me was like, cause I was getting very frustrated in the beginning. And I'm like, man, where's all my subscribers? You know, every time I hop on there and, you know, I'm waiting for these numbers to pop. He's like, bro, you got to keep on pumping. YouTube's not going to push your product out there if YouTube knows that you're a once a month dropper. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're putting out the same content as the next mother. It's just that YouTube knows he's going to put out another one and another one and another one. So I'm going to keep you in the feed. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
He was like, keep on pumping it out, bro. Keep pumping it. But like every question I have, the texts are responsive. Um, I'm still figuring out cameras and stuff. They always have a question answered. I'm just having issues with just getting these interviews and getting good, solid people and all of that. But it's coming.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
coming.
hard thing. I think if I wasn't me, and like if I didn't have all the connections I had from, say, music and doing what I did in the city, it'd be very hard for me to have people come on to mine. But I'm fortunate enough to know everybody that's anybody in the city, so
Yeah, you
I
got
can.
a network going.
Yeah, but even then, it's like I tell some people to come on, they like, yeah, man, your show hot. I can't come on here and talk to him. It's like, I'm not making you say nothing. You gonna come on here and say what you want to say. If you want to
Yeah,
go get
like,
your
bro,
rundown,
don't.
that's you.
Yeah, please don't come on here and be like, "Yep, so my real name is Tom Stevenson. Let's see what crimes I was doing just last week."
So currently, I sell crack. Like, oh, I didn't ask you to say none
Yeah,
of that. You
no,
crazy.
no. You come on, what's up, man? They call me T-Bone,
But you know what? I
and you
do
know
get it.
this is what I'm into.
I get it for this reason. Because when Matt had me come on, I was terrified. Like, if you go back and watch it, I was sweating under shirt, armpits full of sweat. The reason being, I watched Matt interviews. So I'm knowing Matt done got somebody cooked. So, like, is Matt going to cook me? I don't know
Matt
what's
got
going
somebody.
on. You ain't know
Oh,
that?
okay, in prison. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. No, not nothing afterwards. You feel me? But I don't judge him for that. He did what he did. Matt White. With all due respect, I don't. I feel like white people play by different rules. He ain't no street guy to be playing by no street code. So I don't judge him. But that don't mean I'm gonna just be stupid. So I'm scared to come on here and say it. But now that I've been doing content for quite some time, it's like
You know what?
there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with telling your story. You can tell your story, say what didn't happen. This is all back in the day or hypotheticals, So we ain't talking about nothing that current. It don't matter. And it's nothing wrong with giving your knowledge on something, regardless. Education
no.
is like you can't go to jail for teaching nobody nothing unless you did it with the express intent to teach them to do a crime. But if you telling
And
them,
I know, especially with me, it is all of this stuff is old stuff that I speak on, stuff that I've done
yeah,
years and years ago. I sell cars, and I've got other ventures now that, and I wouldn't even think about trying to
yeah,
jeopardize freedom these days because that's worth more than the licks that we get. But all this stuff is for educational purposes, like old
yeah,
news, old stuff, fraud prevention, all of that stuff. And you
but
have to
that's
make those disclaimers too.
definitely. But that's why I was scared, because this was in my beginning phases, so I didn't know all of that. So I'm just looking at it like, man, this white man that called me, he talking about tell a story. And then when he called me, this out the blue, somebody else told him to talk to me. So he called me like, yeah, tell me a story. And I'm scared on the phone, like, what you mean? He like, yeah, man, I want to hear the whole story. How did you do it? I heard you was a big credit card scammer. How did you do the scams? I'm like, I don't know, man. So, I'm half giving him the story anyway because I'm scared to tell the whole story. But, now that
Man,
I know,
Matt had texted me years before I went on that show.
mm-hmm,
And it was, because he knew Zach. And me and Zach are close. Zach and I are closer than Matt and he are
mm-hmm,
close. They just did time together. So back then, in Zach's first times, Zach was speaking on me and he had reached out. Matt reached out, hey, man, come on the cast. I was like, yeah, all right. And never did. Way fast forward, I'm out the program, I'm trying to do something. I was like, you know what? I do kind of want to do this type of thing. And I happened to bring it up to Zach. He was like, oh, yeah, I know Matt. I was like, oh, let me hit him up and get
mm-hmm,
some pointers. And when he gave me the number and I went to text him, I already had two other texts that he was inviting me on the cast. And it was just so dismissive that I don't remember like looking at, you're right. I don't even remember it.
mm-hmm.
but he had reached out and stuff, and it turns out like that's an awesome batch of folks. Zach's doing
Yeah,
all.
it
You know,
is.
Zach's locked up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he's
That's
got
crazy.
some.
What do you got?
Yeah,
Well, you know.
apparently, allegedly, um, just some stuff, and it's kind of like some old related stuff. So he's got stuff and issues that he's dealing with. Fortunately, he's got a fantastic attorney,
Hmm.
and there's plot holes and stuff in that story, but he should be returning to us shortly.
I
Shortly,
look
he'll
forward
probably have
to
a
it.
probation. Yeah, he'll probably have a
That's somebody I
probation
want to have on the
leash.
show too, because you know, y'all in the Hall of Fame of scammers for sure. y'all in
Man,
the Hall of Fame.
Zach, and he's funny, man. He is an awesome cat.
I got to go back on Matt's show too. Now that I ain't scared to talk to the man, I got to go back on there.
Yeah,
One of these
and get a
days,
little
I'm gonna
bit
go to
more
Florida and
comfortable.
go chop it up with y'all.
Yeah, Matt's awesome. Can't wait to have you. I'm finna wrap this up, man. Cause you know
No, it's
I
all
got
good, man.
plays to man. But listen, guys. Thank you for coming on. This is the Crime Chronicles. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We will be giving out another 6 podcast T-shirt shortly here, very soon. As soon as we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, it might not be as fancy as this. I kind of like this. This might be the new thing. I got this on my little bike. But make sure you guys are locked in, tuned in. Um, Thank you for coming to BandGang. Make sure you guys, I'm going to leave the link and stuff in the description. Go check him out, man. He's got an awesome podcast going on, got a whole great thing going on. He is set and for educational purposes only. Like he shows you guys like a basic rundown of what was done, how to do, and all of that, so you guys can be in the know of what people are trying to do to you, so you guys can stay safe. Thank you very much for having me. And oh, you're gonna put this on yours too.
Yeah,
Yeah, you.
I say I probably we'll figure it out. You know, we figure that out off air.
Yeah,
But
we
you
can
know,
figure all that out. We can
follow
figure all
me
that out.
at BG Javar on Instagram, onlyscams.org if you want to go learn fraud prevention like he talked about. And if this happened to be on my podcast, you can go follow him at yo Instagram.
So my six the Crime Chronicles CYX the Crime Chronicles. I'm on YouTube. Six Gear is my IG. That's where I'm more on the motorcycle and doing some crazy stuff allegedly on the highway. I don't even know where they get or where that footage comes from. That's crazy. But thank you guys so much. See you later. Peace.